Kyle's hot right now, man.
Yo. Oh my God, bro. I'm furious.
We're
I'm
recording.
furious.
We're dedicated. Well, I'm dedicated. Kyle is always just grateful, but we're recording during the Knicks game on Monday night. Knicks are up 2-1 in their series, and Kyle's got some thoughts on the first half here, so I'll unleash him.
Bro. Bro. So I just saw the graphic right before first of all, I want to be here because last time we did the podcast, we weren't paying attention and they won. They
Yep.
were down like 20 and they came back and won.
Hopefully,
So
Crystal comes in at the end and says that they won in
I
overtime.
know. And every time I watch, they fuck up and they go down big. So that's the first
I'm the
point is
same.
like, I know it's ridiculous, but at the same time, like in my experience, that 100% happens every time I watch. They're losing by a lot when I stop watching. I looked at my computer earlier after I was watching for a little bit. They went on an 8-0 run when I was not looking at the screen.
Yep.
So I'm like, it's in my head now for real. Like I'm not fucking. I don't want to see
And then
it
you
because
turn
I'm
it
gonna
back
fuck it
on,
up.
and they like went back up by like 11 points or some shit, right?
Well, yeah, the Celtics went back up by
Yeah.
11 when I started watching
Yeah.
it. But I just saw the graphic, bro. I'm gonna lose it right now as I talk to you, and it maybe changed a little bit because it was 3 minutes ago that I saw the graphic. But it was Celtics on free throws were 8 for 13. The Knicks were 0 for 0.
Donut. Yeah.
They haven't called any fouls
Yeah. It's
for the Knicks.
frustrating.
Now, what I told to Crystal about this, you could always tell when somebody's got fake YouTube views or fake video views, like that Rumble website has a lot of fake views,
Mhm.
because it'll say like 100,000 views for the video, let's say, but then you'll scroll down and there'll be like 7 comments.
Yep. That's the same thing with
And
Instagram. Yeah.
it's a law of nature that if you have 100,000 YouTube views, you have to have like in the thousands of comments.
Yep.
So that just proves that the views are fake.
Yep.
Now the same shit. If you tell me it's a 2-1 difference, okay, I could kind of see it. 3-1, okay, but you're stretching it. When you're at 13 free throws versus 0 free throws, you are rigging it, and they want this series to go longer.
Yep.
They want to make sure the Knicks don't win to make it 3-1, because then they feel like it's basically over at that point, because only one team has ever come back from a 3-1 deficit.
Yep.
Or at least in the finals, that's the case. It's LeBron versus the Golden State. I don't know if it's happened in like the first or second round
Yeah, it
of
might
playoffs.
happen a couple times in first, second, but finals, yes.
Yeah, but it's like, what, less than 5%
Very
chance that you
minimal.
win once you go down 3-1?
Yeah.
So they are straight up rigging it, and you said the ref is Scott Foster, who has a
Foster.
history of this shit.
Yeah. So when I was driving up to Boston with my boy Jay, Scott Foster's been out of the NBA for like a hot minute this season. And I was like very curious as to where he was. I was like, where's Scott Foster been? It's the playoffs. Usually he's got his imprint and his fingerprints all over every single game. Because like he very notably either has a bias against the player. So like Chris Paul and Scott Foster. Like Chris Paul is like 0-14 or something against Scott when Scott Foster refs his games. And then hold on, Molly just texted me. Just want to make sure. She was doing jujitsu and like literally her like bra was like pushing up her like shirt so bad, and I like took a video of it. It just was like, so anyway,
Putting her on blast, damn.
I mean like, yeah, like she needs a better sports bra, like or wear a sports bra.
You're just like, damn, my wife's titties.
So anyway, when he goes against Chris Paul, Chris Paul's like 0-13. He's like he's in every documentary. He's in the Tim Donahue one, is like Tim Donahue would go to the locker room at halftime and literally text Scott Foster like 40 times, like some absurd number of texts to another NBA referee, and that was the ref that got caught like cheating. Regardless, he's been out the whole season, and then literally it was announced on the drive up to Boston that he's coming back for the playoffs because he had some injury in his leg. So right there, I was like, the tide is changing. The Knicks have
Oh my
had good
God.
karma, good juju going their way. Now that he's back, they're going to put him on a very important game. And come tonight, a very important game, he's reffing. And to your stat, Celtics are shooting 14 free throws. We're shooting 0. And then, like, you can even date back to the NBA when the Sacramento Kings should have beat the LA Lakers. And the referee, like, the free throw discrepancy was like 40 something to like 18. It's hard right now to not think things are rigged. So I don't know if you saw the draft lottery, but the
yes, the Mavericks won it, and they had a
Dallas Mavericks got the pick.
1-point-something% chance.
1-point-something% chance. They've like this season traded away Luka Doncic. Their whole fan base was like literally turning on the franchise, and they have a new ownership, the Dumont family, who's like oil or something. I don't know.
DuPont would be
DuPont.
chemical. Yeah.
Is what chemicals?
Chemicals, I think.
Yeah. They used to have, I think they sponsored like Jeff Gordon's race car in the back. Regardless, they paid a pretty penny. I'm sure they have some good relationship with the NBA. There's no chance the Dallas Mavericks can get
None.
that first pick.
No,
And
none.
it's turning into WWE entertainment. Their ratings are down. They just announced Michael Jordan is going to be an announcer, which is like whatever they paid him must have been an absurd
Ridiculous.
amount of money. So like they're trying to do everything to get the ratings back up, and it wouldn't surprise me, to your point, if they started like trying to make this go 7 or something.
Okay, but okay, here's the thing though. Think about it. If the Knicks were to go up 3-1 on the Celtics and then eventually win the series, right?
It's better for them.
That is absolutely better for the NBA. I get that they would want to get to a game 7 because the more games, the better, more money they make, the more people watch. I get that. So they're trying to get it to a game 7, obviously. But let's say you get it to a game 7 and then the Celtics win. Bro, the city of New York has been yearning for a dope basketball team that's a real championship contender. Now we have one, and you're going to steal their opportunity by openly rigging the shit. 13-0 free throws, and I was watching parts of the game, and the parts that I watched, bro, there was the world's most obvious goaltend on Cat, and they didn't call that shit. And Cat was looking at them like, "You have to be kidding! Like you're joking, right?"
Yeah.
Like I'm so pissed off because this team is so good. They worked so hard all season. They're busting their fucking ass, and now they're playing a team that copies Clay and Steph and just jacks 1,000 threes in the fucking game. If they get lucky and hot and they start going in, they blow games out by 20 points, 30 points. But now they need the refs with them in order to fucking compete.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to sit here as New Yorkers and take this shit?
Yeah.
Fuck that, bro. Like, I'm sorry, but people are within their rights. Like, that motherfucker who's rigging this game, that referee who's rigging this game, I hope that motherfucker, be careful when you walk the streets of New York, bitch, because you got what the fuck is coming to you if you're stealing this one piece of fucking joy. We haven't had a winning... when was the last time we won a championship? Walt Clyde Frazier in the fucking 1970s?
2 or something like that. Like, they always... They a lot of the players still come to the Knicks games, and it's kind of sad. It's like other teams have these like a team that won a recent championship, and like they're still like can wave and show some love. Like the Knicks need to update that with the new roster of people that like they can celebrate with like a good looking championship ring. Like Clyde shows his ring and it's got like one little NC diamond in it, whereas you look at the championships rings now, they've got like 90 billion diamonds in them. But nonetheless, yeah. So hopefully, we finish recording and they miraculously come back. Because if not, it'll be 2-2. They have to go back to Boston.
No, they're rigging it, Corin. Like I really think that it would be a miracle if the Knicks come back and win tonight. They would not only be beating the Celtics, they would be beating the refs. Because 14-0 is not a mistake. I was just a little bit into the second quarter when we started recording this. 14-0 is, motherfucker, we're rigging it. We don't even care if you know that we're rigging it. We're getting this shit to go further. It's going to be 2-2. And then from there on, maybe the referees will start reffing fairly. But now the Knicks went from up 2-0 to 2-2. Now it's a fucking jump ball. Now it's anybody's game.
Yeah.
This is fucking bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like sometimes in these playoffs, there's a fucking sweep. Deal with it. The Grizzlies got swept. 4-0. Deal with it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the end of the world. This happens. If you're not reffing this, what's the point in watching if the shit is not even real?
Yeah.
If the shit is rigged and you're putting your thumb on the scale to this extent, what's the point in watching at that point?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just you're wasting my time because I'm not even learning who the best team is and the best players are. You're just giving me the outcome that you think I want. I don't give a fuck about your soap opera rigging bullshit. I want to see who's actually the best team, and you're fucking ruining it for me.
Yeah, it's different, I feel like, with WWE because it's like you go in there knowing it's kind of scripted. At least with NBA, you have this like mindset that like there's this purity to it that like if they just play the game the right way, the better team will win. But when you throw like, look, I referee some games. It's hard to be, I mean, like obviously you want to be unbiased, but like you might miss a call on one end, and then in the back of your mind you're like, all right, next time down the floor I might have to like give this guy a foul because I'm to make up for this. And you see that in the NBA too. Like they'll miss a call and then they'll come back down and like either an offensive foul will happen right away. So I mean, these people are humans, and to not be swayed by like media, by bosses, by ownership, by people telling them like, yo, need the Celtics, man, we need ratings or like whatever. It's hard for someone who is still trying to just like work like they have bosses, they have people they have to listen to, and if someone's telling them something, who's to say maybe that like they're not doing something to help a certain team, you know?
And basketball games are honestly the easiest to rig.
Well,
The
football
easy,
too. Football they can always call like holding or like pass interference or something like that, because that
yeah.
stuff is so like they're grabbing them on every play, so like they can just be like, oh, that was a hold.
But it's kind of amazing how with basketball, at literally any game you watch, you will see a play where you'll go, that dude was fouled,
Yeah,
and they don't call it.
yeah,
And on the flip side, there will be a bunch of calls where you're like, that's not a foul at all, and they call it.
yeah.
And so it is, the reffing is so immensely subjective that it gives them the ability to try to rig it. So what they need to do, I mean, bro, I don't know if you've ever watched tennis on TV,
Hmm.
but on tennis, now granted, it's easier to do this with tennis, but they have like literally automated shit where
That camera
he-
like shows the ball
the
on the line.
camera will tell you exactly where the ball landed,
Yeah,
and like it's not, there's no human judgment whatsoever.
yeah.
If you get the tiniest piece of the line, that shit is in and it counts as in. And they have, in real time, they have the technology to do that shit. They need to find a way to do that shit with basketball.
Well,
And
I agree. There's got to be some way with technology, with all of this like billion-dollar new stadiums they're building to like they have a jumbotron that like basically is the size of the whole court. You're telling me there can't be some cameras that like just go across the whole court that pick up all different contact, and every time there's like contact to an arm or something, like they could scan the human body and like just make it so when another contact hits a part that's not legally deemed by the NBA, so like if you hit a hand or whatever while the ball's in it, then no like light will go off. If something gets hit
right.
that's not supposed to get hit, like something will light up, something will beep, and the play will stop just as like a foul is called. But
Yeah, because any of that shit would be an upgrade from how it is now. The way it
yeah,
is now is ridiculous. Like the amount of, like, I have never once in my life seen a basketball game that I thought was actually objectively called properly.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like there's always calls that are like, nah, that ain't right. You know?
100%. It's and I mean it's uh, to defend the referees a little bit. The game moves so fast, and like obviously sitting back on the couch and like they show a replay and they slow it down, you're like, oh, he smacked the hell out of his arm. Those guys are like always smacking each other's arm and like always going so fast. So like yes, they're gonna miss some, but some are like egregious. Like there was one game in Boston where dude slapped LeBron at the end of the game. I think it was Jason
I
Tatum.
remember that. That was a huge scandal.
Remember? And like
He
Patrick
literally
Beverly
grabbed
took
his
it.
whole arm.
But Patrick
Now that
Beverly
was.
grabbed the photographer's camera,
Mm-hmm.
went to the referee and put it in his
Yep.
face. He got a T for it, but literally was like, "Bro, like you can't miss that, especially if you're standing right
No.
there."
Yeah, and that's rigged.
Yeah.
That's rigged because that was the end of the game.
And the
You had the ability.
referee got demoted. He got like banned from the NBA, and now he's kind of like reffing college basketball.
Wow.
Yeah.
So there's consequences. Are they going to fucking have consequences for Scott Foster right
No,
now
he's
for
no.
openly rigging this fucking Boston Celtics game?
No,
Because that's
he'll-
what they're fucking doing.
he'll
They're
be
rigging
there.
it for the Celtics. I'm so sick of this shit, bro.
So I was there game 3. So I just want to clarify because everybody's saying that tickets are expensive, and I want to like assure my Patreon supporters and anyone that
Yeah, you worked for the Knicks, so you got free tickets,
yeah,
right?
I mean, like I've met a lot of people throughout my sports career that have blessed me with some tickets. Like, people like hook me up. So like, just know I'm not dropping like $900 on a pair of tickets. Like,
Because the tickets for a playoff game, I'm sure the cheapest ones are super fucking
so
expensive.
game 3, I mean, game 4 must have been even more because it's like more important. But game 3 at the Garden, they said were the highest Knicks tickets prices ever. Like,
Whoa.
and that's like they were in the finals in 99, 2000 or 98, 99. I mean, that was probably the most expensive year. They were in the playoffs last year, but that ticket for game 3 was like the Super Bowl, and then it was like the Knicks
Wow.
tickets to that game.
Wow.
It's like ticket price, and that's the thing is like, how much would you pay for? I mean, like, what you would pay? How much would you pay to maybe watch like Tiger Woods play golf?
So I have seen Tiger
Yeah,
play
yeah,
before.
true.
I've been to a few events where I've seen him. I think I saw him once when I was a kid
Mhm.
in like 1998 or something. I
Yeah,
saw him at
That's in
Westchester
his
Country
prime,
Club.
too. That's like seeing.
No, that was actually before his prime.
Oh,
his
really?
prime was 2000, 2001
Oh,
was his
so that's
first
even
prime.
cooler. So like, there might have not been
Yeah.
enough people.
He was real young at that time, so I saw him then. And by the way, I was amazed. I was taller than him when I saw him.
Oh, for real?
I was taller than him, and it was 1998. I was 10 years old. I was taller than him.
Damn.
I know, right? Isn't that
That
crazy?
is kind of
But I
crazy.
remember distinctly going, "Wow, he's a lot smaller than I thought he was." He's not small.
Yeah.
He's, but honestly, he's probably like
5'10",
5'10",
5'11".
but
Yeah,
they
yeah.
have him listed at 6'2", which is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, they. I mean, like,
Um,
yeah, yeah. He's
but I saw him in 1998. I saw him in, I want to say it was 2012, 2013,
Mhm.
whatever year the President's Cup was. I didn't have to pay for either one of those tickets because one of them I was a child. The other one, my friend's dad took us to the President's Cup.
Mhm.
But I don't know, to see Tiger golf, I like watching it more on TV. Every now and then I like going to a golf event, but those tickets are not that expensive. I've been golf tickets $80, $40,
Well, like,
whatever.
what's the most you would drop on something that you were really interested in? Like I really wanted to go see. Like I would never if they said like, "Yo, I got 2 tickets for you for the Knicks game, but it's like $900 a piece." Like,
Nah, I can't.
yeah, I'm gonna be
So
like, "No, I'm gonna pass on those." Because look, if someone and I feel bad because I had a buddy last year. There was Game 7 in New York versus Indiana for the Eastern Conference semifinals, and I had a boy that dropped. I think it was 500 or 550 to sit up top, and they lost.
Mhm.
Game 3, if someone was dropping $900,000 for one ticket and they got blown out by like 25 30 points.
900,000? No way.
No, no,
That's
no,
too
no.
much.
900 to 1,000. Like
Oh,
900.
900.
Yeah, yeah,
I was like, what the
yeah.
fuck? Nobody's paying that shit. You have the front row just be like Elon Musk and Bill Gates and the richest motherfuckers in the world. No, to answer your
Even at
question,
that point, like they'd be like, "Yo, how much did you pay?" They're like 20,000, and you're like, "I paid 900,000."
so Crystal got us tickets for a Wizards game, which
Yeah.
is actually, it's low key. In some ways, it's better because they're such a bad team that the tickets are dirt cheap,
Yeah,
right?
there a couple
And
hundred.
we
You
had,
could sit like right there.
bro, we had one row behind front row. I had never been
I
that
saw you on. I saw you on
close.
TV, like in the
I was right
corners.
next to Kat's dad.
Yeah.
I was right next to Kat's dad.
Yep.
So anyway, I want to say it was like $1,000 for both tickets, so 500 a piece to be one row behind
Yeah.
front row.
That at the Garden, like not shitting on Washington, but like those seats at the Garden.
Oh, forget it. And what Crystal told me was, if we had gone one row in front, if we were actually front row,
Yeah.
the tickets at the Wizards game jumped from like 1,000 to like 5 or 6 or 10 or some shit.
Oh, really?
And I was, yeah, so that's why, because me and her were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, I've never been like I've never been close at a basketball game before.
Yeah.
I've always been kind of far back.
Yep.
And so she was like, oh, I'll get it as a Christmas present. I'll get him some
Yeah,
close
seats
seats.
were butter.
And the deal, and like I said, it was maybe $1,000 for, so 500 a piece for one row behind the front. But
Still good.
once you get to the front, they're like, nah, we're like quintupling the shit. We're making it 10 times as expensive. And Krista looked at it and she was like, it's just not worth it. Like, it's not worth it to spend so much more to get 3
No.
feet closer.
No.
It's not worth it, you know?
Yeah. No, and that's my like whole thing is like, it was cool, but if I would have paid for those tickets and they had lost by 25, 30 points, like I would have been real tight because it's like
Yeah.
even
But also watching on TV is good. Like, it's nice to lay in your underwear and fucking watch it on TV. Like,
Yeah.
it's relaxing. I always say that about the golf majors. I've never been to the Masters. I would give anything to go to the Masters.
Mhm.
But I want to go on like a Thursday
Yeah,
or a Friday. Number one, when the full field is there and they don't have the cut, so I can see everybody.
that's true.
Number two, because come Sunday, I want to be laying in my underwear watching the shit on TV and having 3 screens going where I'm streaming different shit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. So we were like 11 rows back. We were behind the basket, and they were butter seats. Like when you sat down and everyone was sitting down, it was good. You could see it. But on the contrary, the basket was kind of like in your way type of shit. So like you had to avoid that. And then occasionally there'd be like 3 or 4 rows ahead of you. There'd be 1 or 2 people that are like standing up. Like one lady was taking a picture of Bad Bunny for like literally like 20 minutes. I was like,
Oh my
bitch,
God.
you could just Google image this guy. Like he was like, so I guess there's a new feature on the iPhone where you can like OD super zoom. It's like 27x and it like you get a picture of him, but it's still kind of blurry. And she's like for 20 minutes zooming in on this guy to like get a picture. And I'm like, they're gonna like the New York Post, it's gonna be all over the internet in a second. Just take that picture and tell someone that you took it. Like there's no one's looking at your camera. Some people were recording. I mean, I do this too. I mean, like I was like recording a lot of gameplay, just like I don't know, like if they made a 3 to show the crowd reaction or whatever. But then ultimately I was like, one, you can't even really hear the crowd through my phone. And like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this video afterwards? Like, it's just taking up mad storage. Like, let me just
To be
enjoy this
fair,
shit.
I watched the first one. I haven't seen the second one yet.
Oh yeah, I just dropped the second one.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good. I liked it. I liked watching. I like that vlog style. Like I'll take you with me type shit. Like I enjoy that.
Yeah, I try to record a little bit, but then I also was like trying to watch it too, and also like it's hard to really like know when a moment is coming. Like OG banged it on some guy super hard, but like I didn't have my phone out.
Yeah, the trick is just every now and then you do it. That's
Exactly.
all there is to it. And when I make a video like that, I don't even leave anything on the cutting room floor. I'll just
All of it, right?
record. I'll just throw all of it in there, and I'll
Yeah.
just make sure I don't overdo it. Like I
Yeah.
don't put too much of one thing. Just put a little bit here and there, and then put it together, and then boom, somebody was with you for the day. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we were I give you and Crystal a lot of credit because when you guys like record in the car, like you guys just have a good dynamic of like you know how to have a conversation. You're very educated. You guys know like you have a good back and forth like tennis type of flow. I was like trying to well, I did a live with Molly on the way back after the vlog and it was rocking for a second and then it just like cut off. Like I had mentioned it was weird. I feel like YouTube was listening because I had mentioned at the end I was like I got shook because I was driving and then like a cop was coming from behind. I was like, "Yo, I'm getting pulled over right now." But then he like went speeding past. So Molly was like, "You thought he was coming for you, right?" I was like, "I did." Like probably because we're YouTube and like and recording. Right when I said that, the the live followers dropped down from like 60 to like 8. And then someone wrote in the comments that like the video just stopped abruptly. I feel like YouTube was like listening in and didn't want us like recording and driving or some shit.
Nah, you probably just lost streaming
Service or
ability.
something, right?
Yeah, you lost service. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Me and Crystal just went out and ate, and we were sitting down in a restaurant, and somebody walked up to the glass and knocked and was pointing like,
Oh, like showing love?
yeah, like I was
That's
like,
what's,
hey.
isn't it like I mean like I get giddy every time that shit happens to me.
Yeah, it was cool, especially because we were just chilling, eating, and he just wanted to just show love real quick and then keep it moving. It was nice of the guy. So shout out to that guy who just saw me and Crystal out eating at the steakhouse.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that.
Now that's love to that guy. And I don't know if the guy from New York City ever commented on the shit for saying what up for our podcast, but maybe he's not a real
Well, it was
fan.
kind of deep in the podcast. He would have had to listen. He
That's
would have had to
true.
be a true Kyle and Corin head going deep in the shit.
That's very true. That's very true. Well, anyway, so at the Knicks game, there was mad celebrities, and then on the way out, I saw Louis C.K. They didn't put him up on like the jumbotron, so he still must be canceled.
Yeah, that's what happens when you start jacking off in front of random women. They're like, you know what? We'll pass on the celebrity cam because they're afraid they put him up there. They're afraid they'll hear boo,
Who did they boo?
pervert.
They booed Alec Baldwin and his wife like Hilaria and their whole family in New York. He got booed pretty hard, man. They like John Hamm was there, Adam Scott, the guy from Severance, Ben Stiller,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and then
Ben
they
Stiller's
put,
always there.
Ben Stiller's like Die Hard.
Do they even still put Spike Lee on that shit, or they're just like, we know Spike is here. He's
No,
at
yeah,
every
they didn't
fucking
put
game.
Spike Lee.
Yeah, it's like he's here every time.
They put Timothy Chalamet on there. He's like a huge Knicks fan.
Mm-hmm,
But yeah, Baldwin and his wife Hilaria, who's like I think she's like a white lady, but like tends
pretended she was Hispanic. Yeah, I remember that. Crystal got obsessed with that story. She went deep on that story.
because it's like one, it's fascinating that like he's so into her like that. Like I don't get why he like defends her. She's really weird.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
That's so
Alec
fucking
Baldwin is a
weird.
weird dude too. Like that dude's got issues, bro.
Yeah,
That dude's got anger management problems. He's got all sorts of shit.
yeah, but like for some reason he still like is like well, he's not really on SNL anymore, but he still like gets work.
Yeah, he does. And remember, he killed a dude by accident. Remember that?
Yeah.
He killed somebody by accident, and now he's just like still doing shit, living life. If I killed somebody by accident, I'd be hiding the rest of my life. Like, man, I'm a piece of shit. I feel horrible about that.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what like I mean I feel like Louis C.K.'s canceled category shouldn't be as bad as like Alec Baldwin shouldn't have been on the celebrity cam, but Louis C.K. should have like on the scale of like who did more wrong.
Well, Alec Baldwin definitely. I mean, if you kill somebody, even if it's by accident, by definition, that's wrong. More wrong than if you commit some sex crime where you're a creepy pervert.
I feel like
But I get it, man. Like if I'm running the Nick shit and they're like, "All right, Louis C.K.'s here. Should we put him on?" I'd be like, because here's the thing: New York doesn't play, bro.
no.
New York doesn't play. Like New York, if like people in the New York audience are gonna know that this motherfucker likes jacking off in front of random people without asking them. and there's gonna be boos. People are gonna start screaming pervert.
Yep.
So if
It's gonna get
anything,
weird.
they hooked up Louis C.K.
Yeah.
by not, because then he would have been leaving there feeling like, God damn, like he would have used that in his next stand-up act. The fact that Madison Square Garden was fucking booing him.
Probably.
You know?
Yeah. And I'm kind of not a fan of his because I saw him at a boxing match like maybe 10, 11 years ago when I was working, like doing boxing match stuff. And he turned me down for a picture, and I kind of was like, damn, man. So this time I wasn't close enough to asking for a picture, but he gave me a little salute, which was nice.
Oh, wow, that's kind of crazy. Would you shout his name out? You said Louis or some shit?
Yeah, I said Louis, and my sister said I pronounced it wrong, but I think it's Louis, like Louis CK, and then Louis for sure.
Oh, okay.
So I think
what'd you say, Louis?
Louis, yeah.
Yeah. No,
I thought I was like his mother or something.
But that's sort of fucked up. You have pictures with so many celebrities. It's surprising whenever one turn. I mean, fucking Taylor Swift didn't turn you down.
Yeah, I know.
So for Louis C.K. to turn you down is like, bitch, you are not on Taylor Swift's level. Like,
Yeah.
that's an AAA list celebrity, bro.
Exactly.
You're just a creepy comedian. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're like, I know that like super famous people are on a different level and they probably get annoyed everywhere they go, but it's really not that much to ask to just take a fucking picture.
Mhm.
It's really not, and it's not that much to ask to just be like, hey man, what's your name? All right, cool, nice meeting you. Like, it's not that much to ask. Like,
Yeah.
you got to stay grounded to some extent. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, Trump, you know what Trump does, right?
No.
Trump will, whenever he's going anywhere, he will walk out. Let's say he's walking out of a building, and he goes,
Whether there's people there or not.
whether there's people there or not. There could be nobody there. It could be 4 a.m, and he walks out and he's waving this way, and going like, and it's like, bro. But it's sort of crazy because it's sort of psycho in the other direction.
Very psycho.
Like, it's psycho to not, like, give people a moment of your time, not to take a picture, not to say what's up. Like, that's psycho. But it's a totally different kind of psycho to be like, all eyes are always on me, and I love that.
Yeah.
It's like, that's also weird, bro.
You know
You got some serious problems.
They gave Russell Wilson, the quarterback, he's now the quarterback of the Giants, a lot of like slack about that or flack about that. He would practice running out to the field, like giving high fives to people, and they were like, bro, what are you doing? So, like, in a way, in my eyes, it's kind of like, yo, he's just preparing for every, like, part of his getting to the field, you know, like he's going through every single motion. So for Trump, I mean, like,
it sounds sort of OCD. That sounds OCD to me.
yeah, and Trump's too, to an extent. Like, it's like he just anticipates everywhere he goes that people like him and that he has to wave and salute everywhere he goes. But ultimately, like, it's like there's some spots where 4 a.m, it's like, yo, there's not even anybody there, dog.
For him, for Trump, I think it's, he wants to be a legend.
Mhm.
He wants to view himself as a larger than life figure.
Yeah.
And so he's always on. And then the other thing is, he doesn't, like, if he's waving to nobody, he doesn't expect anybody to see that and then show that he waved to nobody. But that's
true.
happened a few times.
Yeah.
Where he was like leaving his apartment in New York and he's waving both sides, and then the camera looks that way, there's nobody, and looks the other way and there's nobody. And so it's like, sort of got called on his bullshit, right? It's like what he did. I don't know if you saw this the other day, but he came out and said, I got a ceasefire between India and Pakistan. It was incredible. And then India and Pakistan were like, we didn't fucking talk to you or anybody from the United States. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the way he says shit is just great. I really don't think people understand what a pathological liar is. Because if you are not one and you don't know any, you can't really wrap your mind around the fact that a pathological liar will lie about anything.
Yeah. But, and not even lie, but so the most recent thing I saw was he was talking about like Sam Snead and like picking up a putt, and someone gifted him a jet or something, or a plane, and he was like,
Qatar, yeah.
they gifted him like an actual plane.
The government of Qatar gave him a $400 million plane, which is the most corrupt shit I've ever seen.
Yeah, but then he got mad at ABC News for asking a question of like, should people be upset at you? And he gave him a quote back like, some people are just so stupid. Like, you take a plane if somebody gives it to you. It's like, no. Did you see? I think it was today. He was
Didn't see that.
He was like, well, you're fake news. And if somebody gives you a plane, you take it. He's like, some people are just stupid. And in golf, there's a golf term that Sam Snead once said is, if someone gives you a putt, you take it. And sometimes, like, I'm with my friends and they'll still putt it out. And everybody looks at them like, what are you doing? He's like, it's the same thing. If somebody gives you a plane, a $400 million, $400 billion plane, you take it. And I'm like, No, dummy. They're
I'm gonna lose
bribing
it.
you.
I'm
Like,
gonna fucking lose it. Oh my god, that's so crazy. So the quote he's talking about, it refers to a specific situation.
mhm.
If you're playing one on one in match play, the way the rules work is if your putt is like 5 inches away,
Yeah.
there's no way you're gonna miss it. Your opponent might say that's good, you could pick it up, and you
Mhm.
pick it up. That's what the rules are for match play. And the point is, if they say your putt is good and then you go up and try to tap it in and you miss it somehow, then you feel like a fucking idiot
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you were given the putt. So that's when they say when a putt is given, pick it up. That's what it's referring to. Trump is saying that as if it's like you're playing golf and you got an 80 footer and somebody's like, yeah, you can pick that up. Like you pick up an 80 footer,
But
which
he's
is
also
fucking
comparing a golf putt to a whole country giving
right.
you a plane.
I was gonna get
Oh,
there, which
sorry.
is
Sorry.
yeah, no, you're taking it right out of my mouth. That's exactly right. Like if somebody gives you a plane, imagine if Joe Biden or Barack Obama took a $400 million plane from the government of Qatar. What this motherfucker would have said. Hunter Biden got a seat on a Ukrainian energy company board, Burisma, and made like $400,000, and they're still screaming about it today. You took a $400 million plane. What do you think? They're giving it to you because they like you?
Yeah, like
Because they want to hang out with you? They're friends with you? They like your abortion policy? No, motherfucker. That's obviously the world's clearest bribe. Like the clearest bribe of all time.
what
And
does he
now he's
even
going
need
to
a
do
plane
favors for
for
them.
though?
Well, apparently, Air Force One is like kind of old. It's
Oh,
like decades old.
mhm.
And so, Trump, he wants everything to be the biggest. He made the Oval Office like 100% gold. He's got gold fucking everywhere. Makes it
Well,
look like some dictator's paradise. And so this is just that same thing, except when it comes to the plane. And the other thing is, he's going to get to use it after he's not president. So it's not like, oh, they're giving a new Air Force One and the Air Force One can be used forever. No, what he's going to do is, when he's done, keep using that plane and then eventually donate it to his library when he gets his presidential library. Like these,
giving you a
bro,
presidential library.
all the presidents get a library.
Oh, for
Every
real?
president gets a library. Yeah,
So he'll
that's one
get
of
one
the
in New
things.
York?
I don't know. I don't know which state it's going to be in.
Oh,
Maybe it's in your. It's in your home state. Maybe you could pick somewhere else. I don't know. But either way, this is the most corrupt shit I've ever seen. And yeah, he defended it online. He was saying the dumbest shit ever. Like he was kind of saying what you just said.
mhm.
Like, oh, I made a great deal and the plane is free and the crooked Democrats are against it. They
Yeah, you're
just want
stupid
to
if you
get
don't
ripped
take the
off.
plane.
Like, oh
What?
my god, bro.
So I don't know if you know the details or not, but is he gonna like he'll like paint like it'll look like Air Force One, but this is the plane from Qatar,
I don't know
like
if
the
this shit
logistics.
goes through, bro. I
Oh,
don't know if this shit'll go
yeah,
through
that seems
because
like so like that'd be so weird if another like if he's flying around on a plane that was funded by another country. That like to me is like the ultimate and here's one of my hot takes again. I don't even know if it's a hot take, but if it does go through, he's gonna write like Trump's Air Force One on the plane. Like it's not gonna look like regular Air Force One.
I think you're
He's gonna
right.
make it look like it's Trump's plane. So to your point, it's
Yeah.
gonna be all gold. It's gonna say Trump all over it. It's gonna have the presidential seals, and it's not gonna look like he like the stereotypical blue, like the light blue with whatever on the Air Force One.
He's got like it's so absurd now that like there is literally something specifically in the Constitution that says a president can't take anything from foreign countries because that is corrupt. And that if they do that, they could be impeached over that. It is so clear in the Constitution that if you are given a plane, or if you're getting not a plane, but if you're giving anything from another country, that's a corrupting influence because then you're going to want to represent that country and
Yep.
not represent the American people.
Yep.
And he just does the shit and argue and like doubles down on it. It's so crazy. He really feels like invincible. And to some extent, he's right because like, what are enough Republicans going to break from him where they vote to impeach him over the shit?
No.
Probably not. Probably not. But like, how can we let this go on? I don't understand how everybody doesn't see it this way. Like, how can we let this go on? Like, this is ridiculous at this point. They're making it so that like vigilante violence is now reasonable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they make it so that if somebody were to do some shit, everybody be like, well, what'd you expect? This motherfucker's acting kind of crazy, you know?
I'm always fascinated. How much oil? Like is oil endless that all like Qatar and all of these like other countries, Saudi Arabia, like that they just have endless money? Like what like doesn't money stop at some point? Like how can they like continuously like buy golf leagues and like do all this corrupt stuff with money? Like eventually they're gonna run out of oil, right? Like, doesn't stuff stop at some point?
I mean, yeah, and we kind of got to get off of oil too
Yeah,
because it's
that,
like
yeah.
leading to climate change and all that. Like all that is true, but at the same time, these countries are dictatorships. They're Gulf dictatorships, and their main export is oil. And so imagine like one family running a country, and they get all of the profits from the oil.
Yeah.
Like anybody in a scenario like that, these motherfuckers just print money. Like they just have like $1 trillion just on some regular ass shit, and so that's why to them it's like,
Nothing.
oh, what? You want me to pay $4 billion for this? Who cares? I
Easy.
make that in a fucking day. Like,
Yeah.
whatever. But it really goes to show you, like, the problem with having a dictatorship, right? Like, if you have one family or one group, small group of people that can make all the decisions and they have all the resources of the country,
And there's a lot of poverty
that's
too, right?
untenable. What?
There's like a lot of poverty all around, and then there's just one family
Yeah,
that's
well,
rich or like wealthy.
it's kind of interesting because with what it's kind of crazy because what some of the Gulf dictatorships do is they actually like not they make it so that none of their the people who live there have to pay taxes.
Oh wow.
So like they have their own version of sort of like a social safety net, and they pay for certain things for them, and so that sort of makes it so that there is no revolution, there is no violence,
I mean,
you
that's
know?
kind of a good. Yeah, that's good, right?
Yeah, well, in a sense, it's smarter than what we do here.
Yeah.
Because what we do here is the billionaires try to take all the money and they try to cut the social safety net and they try to screw people over, which of course foments revolution.
Yeah.
If you get rid of Social Security, if you get rid of Medicare, if you get rid of Medicaid, if you get rid of Meals on Wheels, if you cut pediatric cancer research, like eventually you're just begging for vigilante violence.
Yeah.
You know?
But
so
then
it's
also
like,
on the
yeah.
flip side, you're probably like super dependent on the government where they can fuck you over on some shit or stay in power forever that they won't, that you're relying on them too much, maybe.
Yeah, you are relying on them, but at the same time, a lot of these countries they've tried to like they're trying to diversify. They have a lot of Western businesses that like set up shop there and hire people and shit.
Mhm.
So like they're trying. In fact, that's what the Saudi Live Golf League was. It was them going, oil's not going to last forever. We got to find a way to diversify our revenue
wow.
streams. Let's buy our way into like other businesses. That was sort of the idea behind it. So yeah, it's but it's all so corrupt. They're all just so fucking corrupt. It's disgusting to see.
What was one Trump's tweet was so vague, but it basically, like I have it written, it was he's dropping prices by 30 to 80% on like energy and groceries down. Like, is there an actual plan that's happening, or is he just
no?
like
He's lying.
He was like, "This is the biggest tweet I've ever put it out," or something like that.
Yeah. So I covered this. I covered this earlier today on Monday. So he came out and said, I'm going to sign an executive order and we're going to cut drug prices 30 to 80% because we're getting screwed over by the drug companies and it's time that we pay less and other countries pay more. And so what he's doing is he's trying to sign an executive order that says that. But he tried to do this in the first term too. A very similar thing. It got immediately slapped down by the courts because the president doesn't just have the authority to be like,
Yeah.
hey, cut this price or whatever, right? And so the reason he did it now is because he knows his approval rating has plummeted and it's in the 30s. It's 39% right now.
Wow.
And so he's trying to find ways to like make it go up, which is why he said that fake bullshit about I got a ceasefire between India and Pakistan. It's why he made this big deal about I made a trade deal with China, even though he didn't. He just lowered the tariffs himself to 30% and they didn't fucking nothing. And this is the same shit.
Oh, he
Like,
said we
he's
got to
just
deal with
staying in.
China?
He said he got to deal with China, but he just lowered the tariffs that he put at 145%. He lowered them to 30, and they were like, whatever. Like he just lies about everything. But so nothing. It's not going to happen. They're not going to. Drug prices are not going to be lowered from 30% to 80%.
Uh-huh.
This is going to get slapped down. Also, I don't think he really cares that it's not going to go down because again, he's just getting the positive headlines now to try to bump up his approval rating.
Yeah.
And there is a way where he can lower drug prices, but he's not going to do it because there's a real way to do it, and he doesn't actually want to do it.
Yeah.
But if he wanted to actually do it, there's this law called the Bayh-Dole Act, and it gives the government the ability to do something called march-in rights, which just is a fancy way of saying that we fund all the medicine that's created in the country through our universities. It allows the government to say, hey, pharmaceutical company that has the patent for this medicine, we're stripping your sole right to have that patent, and we're going to allow other companies to make similar drugs, and they're going to undercut you and charge less for the drugs. So there is a way he could lower drug prices, but he's not going to do it because that's a real serious plan, and that
Requires
that would mean he actually believes in it. He doesn't fucking believe in it. He's just trying to get his numbers up a little bit.
Crazy that he'll just, I mean, like, it's like almost week to week at this point of him choosing a topic that obviously he knows everybody is for, like lowering drug
Right.
prices or like I don't think he'll never talk about like gun reform because he'll know like his whole base will like be against him on that one.
In the first term, he actually banned bump stocks, which was a way to make a non-automatic machine gun automatic. And so he did do something in the first term on gun reform, but that's first term Trump. First term Trump wasn't nearly as horrific as second term Trump.
Yeah. So I'm just curious, like, what next week is going to be like? What's another talking point that
He'll make some shit up.
he'll
I
find
don't know.
something, and that's
Yeah.
I mean, he was talking about his friend who's super successful, super rich, who's on the fat pill. Did you hear?
Elon, I think it was about Elon. Yeah, I heard
Oh,
that
it was
one.
about Elon who takes the Ozempic?
I think so. The way he said it, he's like, I got a guy, business guy, makes a lot of money, and he's
Very
taking
rich.
the fat shot. I'm pretty sure it was about Elon. I'd be shocked if it wasn't about Elon.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I don't think he's gonna lower drug prices, but we'll see. Who was the politician? And
He actually increased drug prices.
yeah,
Day one in the office, he signed an executive order that raises drug prices, and he froze this Biden law, the IRA, which also lowered drug prices. So he's just full of shit. He's totally full of shit.
speaking of Biden, I saw a clip of him on The View, and they had asked him a question, and like he just started rambling, and then his wife like cut him off
Jumps
and
in,
finished
yeah.
the answer.
Mhm.
Like, not for nothing, he doesn't look good, bro. Like
He's got to go away. Like, just go
yeah,
away,
like
man.
why are you
like,
going on this like
yeah, what are you
tour
doing?
right
What are you
now?
gonna run in 2028? Shut the fuck up and get out of the way. You're just dragging us down more, man.
Yeah,
We
I
like to
don't know what.
And the women were embarrassing on The View. Like, embarrassing. They were like, oh, a lot of people got so freaked out by the debate. I don't know why they did, bro. Why'd they gang up on you, bro? It's like, oh my God, shut the fuck up. You guys are humiliating.
Yeah, the fact that they still try and hide that like he was like literally incoherent, just like at every point of his like runningness, and it was like, well, why did you drop out? Like, what you would have won? It's like,
He said he thinks he would have won, which is just so disgusting and disrespectful to Kamala, who
but
was
is he
left
trying
a
to sell
fucking
him?
mess by him.
Yeah, but is he trying to sell a book or anything, or is he just
No,
trying to like do?
Crystal's theory is that he's trying to save his legacy. That's Crystal's theory. That
But like,
he
who even
knows.
cares? Like,
I mean, this is his life, right? His life is like, hey, am I going to be viewed positively or negatively?
like
And so he's trying to spin it to make it look like no, I would have won and I was the better candidate. And remember, I did great things. Like, I mean, that's what he's trying to do, right? And it's pathetic. Like, nobody cares about you. To your point, nobody cares about
That's
you.
what I'm saying. Like,
We care about, like,
no one's thinking about him. So like, you're almost making your legacy worse by getting
Yeah.
out there and trying to like defend your legacy.
by reminding people that they were right when they replaced his ass.
Yeah.
Like, they were right. I'm sorry. Like, you were not physically able to do the shit.
Yep.
And that's not a knock. Like, you know, I think he did some good things on the economy. I think he did some good things there. But that, like, this part of the problem is that these people get so high on their own power that they're like, bro, I'm irreplaceable.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you're fucking not. No, you're not. Stop it. Just go away.
One thing I respect about I mean, you know better than I do, but I feel like Obama never really did like a tour of like, late night TV shows and daytime TV shows.
I'll tell you Obama's problem.
What was
Obama's
this?
problem is kind of the opposite thing,
Mhm.
right? Is that as soon as he got out of office, he went and started hanging out with Richard Branson, who's this billionaire who did Virgin Atlantic.
Which I don't know how that guy still has money, because like, what does Virgin Atlantic do that like he still has islands and planes and all this stuff? I feel like they were like popping in like the 90s.
What's that? I'm
Like,
sorry.
what
I
is
just had to
Virgin
read a text.
Atlantic that Richard Branson still has like tons of money and islands and planes and boats? I feel like Virgin Atlantic was like a music label in like the 90s or something.
Yeah, no, that's a different Virgin.
That's
There's
Virgin
the Virgin
Atlantic, maybe.
I think Virgin Atlantic is the
Is his
the
shit?
airline, and that's Richard Branson shit. And I think the
Do they
other
still
Virgin,
fly?
I think they do international flights.
Oh, so
but
he's
not.
probably making money like
Oh,
corrupt.
he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
But anyway, Obama was like hanging out with him,
Yeah.
and he was like hanging out with billionaires and rich and famous people, and like so. The knock on Obama is like, you don't really care
Mhm.
about these issues, right? Like you're kind of a careerist and self-important, and like you feel like I did my time and now I'm gone.
I don't
And
knock
then
him for that. Like he was there for what, 8 years, and he's just like, yo,
no,
I just
but
want to be on an island with my boy, posted up.
no, but here's the problem, right? Like you left a mess, bro. Like you Donald Trump was the person who was elected after you.
Yeah.
Like, and it was Obama who wanted Hillary to be his successor. He wanted Hillary to be his successor.
Mm-hmm.
And Hillary's the one that lost to Trump. And then Trump is literally destroying this country in every imaginable way. You would think that at a time when the president is destroying due process, getting rid of the Constitution, deporting innocent people to a concentration camp, like doing all these things, that Obama would sort of be out there sounding the alarm and talking about this shit and rallying people against it. But he doesn't. I mean, look, to be fair to him, every now and then he'll say something. Like he did some event where he talked a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, I saw him in Chicago saying some shit.
It's just not enough, right? Like you look at somebody like Bernie, who's 512 years old.
Still out there
right?
fighting with the people.
He's still out there fighting, and literally Bernie said, like, I waited a couple weeks to see if somebody else would like take the mantle and fight back against Trump and show people the way. And nobody fucking stepped up. And so I had to go do it. And I think that's what people wanted from Obama. They wanted some recognition that, like, he became president at a crucial time in our history where we had the subprime mortgage crisis, we had the Great Recession, we had all these wars from Bush. And everybody wanted him to end the wars. Everybody wanted him to not only get us out of the recession, but do like a new deal and tax the rich and fucking redistribute to regular people. And he didn't really do that. He took like a middle path. And so looking back on it, it's like, you didn't deliver like everybody wanted you to, and now you're kind of MIA when we need leaders the most. So I think the knock on Obama is that like you really don't care about this shit, or
And he
else you
steps
would
in
be acting differently.
And he steps in at the wrong time because like they called him up, they sent in the bat signal when they needed to get Bernie out, and like he did his shit to get him out, you know. So it's like, if you're gonna be out of it, stay out of it, but don't come back and like fuck shit up because of the power you have. To your point, if you've got that power, use that shit all year round to like take down Trump and do shit that's like more substantial.
And think about it. If Bernie got elected, and I think Obama was genuinely fearful of this, if Bernie got elected, he would have made the Obama presidency look bad in comparison. Because the Obama presidency, look, he did some good things. The Iran deal, Cuba normalization, Obamacare was better than nothing. But if you get President Bernie Sanders gets in there and he gets Medicare for all, where everybody has health care and you don't even have parasitic health insurance companies ripping everybody off, all of a sudden, Obama's viewed as like, you were sort of weak compared to this guy who we love. And so I think in the back of his mind, he was like, I don't want this guy to shit all over my legacy. I want somebody who's more similar to me and how I act, a more centrist type person. And so that's why he backed Hillary in 2016. And that's, to be fair, he officially stayed out of it. But behind the scenes, he was trying to pull the strings for Hillary.
100%.
And then in 2020, to your point, that's when he helped clear the field to get all the other people to endorse Biden so Biden could beat Bernie. And this was after it looked like Bernie was going to run away with it. And in fact, if everybody had stayed in the race, Bernie was going to run away with it. Biden needed Obama to make those phone calls and say, hey, drop out, endorse Biden, and we'll make it worth your time. We'll get you a spot in the administration, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. I mean, again, in one regard, I kind of fuck with Obama just being like, yo, I did my 8 years and kind of just wiping his hands clean and chilling. But to your point, it's like, if you're going to step in at the wrong times, then just stay out of it completely. But Biden, yeah. I mean, if Crystal's saying he's trying to defend his legacy, I think he's only hurting it by going around on these talk shows because he looks crazy, man. Like he's and something, I mean, I don't know, to Hillary's kind of defense, she hasn't even really been out there doing too much. So it's kind of like she's out of sight, out of mind. So it's almost just like, all right, she's okay in my book now because she kind of is just like chilling. She's
But
probably
to
doing
be
like
fair,
private speaking events and making boatload of money.
yeah, exactly. But again, I think what that shows about them in particular is that they don't really care that much.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they think Trump is bad, right? They think he's hurting the country.
Yeah.
But they don't care enough to like be a leader. Now, to your point, I'm kind of happy that she's hiding because I don't want her to become the face of the Democratic Party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So on the one hand, it's like actually good, stay away,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I do think it sort of validates that you don't really care that much. Like you think Bernie at 83 years old or whatever he is, like he wants to be traveling the country every fucking
Hell
week.
no.
No, so it's like, but he feels like I have to do it because nobody's fighting back the right way, and he's trying to save the fucking country and save the Democratic Party and make them stand for all the right things.
Yeah. Shout out Bernie, man. What a goat. What
Yeah,
a
it's kind of crazy that he's in his 80s. Bro, I don't even want to travel now. I'm 37. I'm
I want,
37. I'm in perfect health. I don't want to do shit. I don't want to hop on a plane. I don't want to hop on a boat.
did
I
you
don't want to
see
ride in a moat.
did you did you see like Newark Airport, the air traffic controllers were straight just like, yo, we're out this bitch. Like it's bad
Bro,
here.
we're cooked. Like, this country is straight up cooked, bro. I mean, I was saying this before, too. Nobody can say that Democrats and Republicans are the exact same because, at least under a Democrat, you're not worried about the most basic shit not working anymore. Like, we don't even have safe flights anymore.
Yeah, that's why.
The radar goes out at Newark every other day. Like, that's some shit. I'm sorry, that doesn't happen under Democrats. It doesn't fucking happen. At least they can do basic competency shit to keep their basic shit running.
Yeah.
But now, under Trump, like, and they fired air traffic controllers. They fired a bunch of them. That's what Elon did. And then the planes start falling out of the fucking sky. We've had 7 plane crashes since Trump's been president. And it's like, this is what happens when you have people who don't give a fuck about managing shit correctly. They don't care about public infrastructure. They don't care about keeping us safe. Like, this is what happens.
Yeah. Low key, I mean, like, I've always been skeptical of Newark Airport, but like now when air traffic controllers are straight coming out saying, look, yo, I'm not even going to work, or like we're all not going to work. It's really bad to fly there. You should be nervous. And then like United Airlines is coming out, putting out statements now saying like stuff regarding the airport. Like it's scary, man, because like
And bro, it's not just Newark. Newark is just the tip of the iceberg.
it is, right? Yeah, there's probably
It-
worse spots.
Bro, first of all, Reagan is where they had that plane crash with the
Yeah.
helicopter not that long ago. Reagan apparently is a huge problem.
Really?
Where it's a hard one to land in. There's all this like conflicting traffic that they have to worry about. Literally 90% of airport towers are understaffed with air traffic controllers. 90%. We're 3,000 air traffic controllers short in this country right now. And now the radar is going offline from time to time. Now that's only in Newark for now. But the Secretary of Transportation was just on the Sunday shows like, yeah, it's not really safe to fly right now. So this shit is everywhere, bro. Like,
Who's
don't
this-
get on a plane.
Yeah.
Don't get on a plane.
Do we like the Secretary of Transportation? Do we know who it is?
No,
It's someone like
All these people are Trump fucking assholes.
I
It's,
saw-
you know who it is? A
Who?
guy named Sean Duffy who used to be on MTV.
no.
Yeah, swear to God.
That doesn't it one, it doesn't even surprise me. And two, it's just like it sounds about right. Like yeah, he was like what, the host of like Room Raiders or something.
He was either on Road Rules or Real World. He was on one of those
Oh
two.
no.
I don't remember which one.
Not saying that
Yeah.
like, you can't be on that show and then be the Secretary of Transportation, but you can't be on
No,
that show
I'll
and be
say
the head of-
Yeah, no, I'll say that shit 10 toes down, bro. You cannot be on Real World or Road Rules, and now you're Secretary of Transportation.
Well, Road
You're gonna
Rules
make
gives you
fucking-
a little bit of like credibility because they give up the
Has
travel.
road in the name.
I forgot what Road Rules was even about. Were they in a van and they like traveled the country or some shit and they all like slept with each other and like
Some sort of race, right? Wasn't it some sort
well,
of
I
race?
remember Real World they lived in the house. So
Real
was
World,
Road
yeah, I
Rules,
remember
like,
that.
I feel like Road Rules was in the bus and they like traveled around and like did challenges
Yeah.
and shit.
I was more of a fan of Real World
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah, I liked Real
I
World.
think I watched maybe 2 seasons of that, maybe.
Yeah. Damn, Road
I watched
Rules
New
takes me
Orleans.
back though, because I don't even like that's like I kind of
Nostalgia,
remember,
bro.
but I don't.
It was on the same time as Real World, like
Oh,
around
yeah, it
that
was
same
just as
time.
big.
Yeah, It was just as big. That was back when MTV was popping, man. I remember. Did you used to watch TRL? I used to watch TRL
All
when
the
I was a
time.
kid.
TRL was
Yeah.
the shit.
Mm-hmm.
There was one show, I think it was called The Fifth Wheel. It was like same like they would go on a bus, like a big RV, and I forgot what it was. I think it was one person and they would date like all 4 people and then like just kick them off the bus as they went on. It wasn't on MTV, but I remember MTV had like they had Room Raiders was one. Then they
I
had
remember
like
that, yeah.
Silent Library was one. Yeah, they had some
Mhm.
bangers on MTV, and then it kind of like fell off and just became like
Yeah, I feel like the rise of the internet sort of killed MTV a little bit.
yeah, 100%.
You know, but I used to love fucking the Tom Green show was my shit. That dude is hilarious.
Tom Green, and then
He's
I
like
mean-
the original troll.
R.I.P. Didn't Andy Milonakis die?
What did he?
I think so. I think I saw that he died.
Andy
'Cause he was like-
Milonakis.
I think he was like he came after Tom Green, but he was an OG with like pranking people.
Nah, bro, he's alive.
Oh, he's still alive?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
my bad.
alive.
I just TNT'd him like my bad. And I feel like Andy Milonakis low key watches his podcast, so I apologize, man.
He would be the type to watch this podcast.
Oh,
So
for real.
yeah, but I sort of in the back of my mind, I sort of knew he didn't die somehow, so I went to go check it immediately
I
because
feel like I thought I
he sounds like somebody that there's fake deaths about,
maybe.
where
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
say it, then you check and he's not. Yeah, I think he's still around doing his shit. He was funny
Those are the
too. I like
worst.
that guy.
And I saw that with it's crazy how like with the internet age now. I mean, even just like basketball news stories, like they're reporting that like Giannis Antetokounmpo like is open to going to income free like tax free states or something like state tax free states.
Yeah, no state tax.
Yeah, no
Yeah,
state tax. But I was like, one, who cares about that story? And two, it's like probably not even accurate. Like you can just literally, I mean, you've got the power where if you put out any tweet, like it can spread like wildfire. So if you were just like, yo, Andy Milonakis is dead, that would like end up in some other country. But like anyone could put that out, and if people just pick it up, it's a wrap. Like, and you pick the most
bro.
obscure person where you don't really know or can find out, it's over.
But that's part of the problem with the internet, right? Like everybody thought originally like, oh, it'll democratize information and everybody will get stuff faster and we'll learn more from each other. That's the idea in theory, but then in reality, you got a bunch of fucking bipolar, paranoid, schizophrenic freaks who are just like spreading misinformation and it spreads like wildfire. And before you can fucking fact check it, it's already gone like around the world. This shit happens all the fucking time. It's horrible. It's honestly horrible what's happened to our information ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
That's why. Have you seen any of these things about like what Facebook looks like these days? Literally every post is like total AI slop, and then you got a bunch of boomers underneath it saying like, "Wow, this is amazing. I love this." Like it's just we're being made stupid by the shit that everybody posts on social media, the shit everybody sees on social media. Like you could have some fake news ass website that literally spreads just inaccurate information,
And
and
looks
people start
legit,
sharing it
probably,
like it's a
too.
link, and it looks legit.
Yep.
Exactly. And people, it's engagement bait, right? They know, hey, if I say something really over the top, then this shit will go far, and so they post it, and then it spreads like wildfire, and then you got to play fucking catch up.
Yeah.
Like it's terrible what's happened, and honestly, and I mean this sincerely, I really think our generation is like the only generation where a majority of us can smell the bullshit because we were raised at the perfect time where, with the rise of the internet, we were there. We were there for the Nigerian prince email scams. We were there for the phishing scams. We were there. We know what's real and what's not. Our default perspective is that's not real unless you prove otherwise.
Yep.
For the older people, they don't know because they grew up in a high trust society and they felt like if anybody says anything online, it's got to be true because I only say true shit, so they say true shit.
Yep.
And then for the younger kids, they also didn't grow with the internet, so they're gullible, right? So they'll see something also and be like, "Oh, it's online. It's got to be true."
Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember a young person told me they thought, they took a picture of Trump when he was running away from the cops when they arrested him. And I looked at the picture, I was like, this is the most AI shit I've ever seen in my fucking, how do you not know that this is fake? And so it really is screwing us, bro. And people, I think a lot of us who know when it's bullshit, we assume that everybody feels the same way, but they don't. They don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. I like to think that I don't fall for a lot of things on the internet, but at the end of the day, I probably fall for everything that's on the internet.
I mean, look, all of us get got at one point or another.
Yeah.
There's always something at one point or another where it just happens from time to time because it strikes a chord. It sounds like it could be true, and but you just got to be vigilant. You just got to be careful. It's not an easy thing to navigate today's information ecosystem because the other thing is like all the mainstream media sources have been so put through the shredder that like people don't trust what the fuck they have to say, but most of the time they're way more reliable than some dumb shit you'd see online, right? So it's like, who do you trust?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's true. I wanted to ask you, well, speaking of like old school, it was 30 years ago, I think. It was the anniversary of AIM. So
Based. I love AIM, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, your screen name and just any memories from AIM. I feel like I remember your screen name.
What was it?
Wasn't it just like Kyle Kulinski or something like that?
No. I think I had one. I think I have one. I think I had KGIF was one.
That?
KGIF and then
15?
some numbers.
15?
I don't remember I really don't remember the numbers.
Is
But
there
maybe
any?
maybe you're right because you said that pretty confidently, and I feel like you would know because
Yeah.
we would see each other on AIM.
Well, I didn't remember the
Um,
screening, but now that you said cage, I don't know where I got. Is there any 15? Is that a number to you?
yeah. So KGIF, which by the way stood for Kissing Girls is Fun,
That
and
was like, yeah,
the 15 came from
like
what
15
my
girls.
no, what my anniversary was with my first girlfriend,
Oh, wow.
which was it was March 15th. So 315. So anytime I put 15, it was in relation to that.
Kissing
So I
girls
think it
is
was
fun. That's an epic one.
old school, bro. So old school. But yeah, bro, AIM, man, those days were something, right? Like it was fun to just be on AIM, talk to your friends. Fucking, I used to have remember I had a sidekick for a little bit where you could be on
The
AIM.
side,
Whatever
yeah.
happened? Is it just totally gone now?
I think it's a wrap on Sidekick. But to your point, like it had the actual like buddy list thing on the side,
Yup.
and it was so
Who's
cool to see
online?
that. Like it was almost like, and I know I've said this before, like when someone would bring McDonald's into your high school, it was just so like out of the ordinary seeing like McDonald's not in somewhere that was either a McDonald's or outside of like just the world. So when someone had it in school, you kind of were like, damn, like that's cool. So
It's
seeing like
amazing.
AIM outside of a computer screen, especially on your phone back then, was one of the coolest things ever. Like people would
Amazing.
like huddle around the phone in a bathroom or something like that and just like look at the screen. Like no one would even be online because we're all in school, no one's at the computer. And there would randomly be like one person online that stayed home and had a doctor's appointment or some shit. I feel like you would have to send them a message like, yo, just be like, yo.
I remember getting excited anytime I'd see when my first girlfriend,
Yeah.
whenever she would log on, I'd be
Yep.
like, oh, she's
The
on.
door
Like,
would
yeah,
open up. Every time that was like, like whatever the
oh
door
my
sound
God.
was.
They got to bring that shit back, bro. I miss that shit.
I
AIM was
feel like
awesome.
I feel like I feel like that's one that like can't come back
It
because
definitely can't come back because you have group chats now. Like, you could just text
yeah, you could
somebody,
just
you
text
know?
everyone. And
Yeah,
you
so there's
rarely
no
like,
reason for it.
well, I mean, in a way, like at work, there's like Slack channels, there's like Microsoft
Right.
Teams. So those are kind of like it.
And does it have, like, does it show, oh, this person's, like, available
Yeah,
right
it shows
now? Or,
available or busy or but like maybe there should be a time instead of this would be a cool feature on the iPhone, but instead of just like do not disturb mode, you can put like an away message up on your phone. And it's kind of like, well, I mean, I guess in a sense you could do that. Every time I text my dad while he's driving in all caps, it's like
yeah, it says, I'm
driving,
driving.
text
Well,
you back
yeah.
ASAP. I'm like, yo, like, why are you yelling at me?
You know, me and Crystal were talking about this the other day. I'm curious what you think, but we feel like first of all, the relentless improvement of technology is not necessarily a good thing. And I
Mhm.
think we're going to learn that with AI when it goes too far, that it's like this was actually a bad idea and it's got a lot of negative consequences. Even
Yep.
right now with social media, like it's gone too far
Yep.
probably in a bunch of respects. So we were talking about they really should have drawn the line at phone technology like in the flip phone era where you could go online but it was like a little bit slow and it wasn't primarily used for that
Yep.
and like your phone would have the ability, yeah, you could go online but you're mostly just texting people and you got the flip phone that's got a keyboard in that bitch where you could type it out. That if technology just stopped right there, I think we probably would be better off today. And it used to be, bro, you can validate this. It used to be when you go to the store to get a cell phone,
Mhm.
there would be literally an endless number of options for the kind of cell phone you wanted in the flip phone era, where they'd have small ones, they'd have big ones, they'd have medium-sized ones. I had one that flipped both ways. You could flip it this way, and then you could open it this way, and it would show a keyboard on that bitch. They had so many different phones
Yep.
that no two people had the same phone. Everybody had a different phone.
There were so many. Yep.
And I feel like that was sort of the pinnacle where once we got to like the first iPhone and once we just got like as the iPhone became the only game in town where even the Blackberries went away, that now I feel like everybody's got the same phone. Everybody's either got an iPhone or a Google phone that looks like a fucking iPhone and it all does the same shit. It's all got the touchscreen. I really miss the days of the fucking keyboard on the phone because this shit fucking like the number of typos you have even with autocorrect on
Yeah.
because the
It's
fucking shit is
endless.
like It's fucking stupid. So do you agree that we would have maybe been better off if we cut it off at the fucking flip phone era? We were like, that's it, we're good. Like we went as far as we're gonna go. Everybody's just gonna have this shit.
Yep, I do. And I also think that like there should have been and there should still be some type of like photo like chop off stage. Like you shouldn't be able to take clear ass photos on your iPhone. Like take it back to the day where you flipped it up and you could just take a blurry ass photo. Like there's a reason there's actual standard cameras. Like I got one over there, but like an
Facts.
actual camera that
Facts.
you have to have and push.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same like sneakers. Like there's no like you can't put a TV in a sneakers and like elevate that. Like there's always been like the sneaker is the same as the sneaker from like 1920. It's just that
Yo,
got more
exactly. That's
cushion
such
or
a
some
great
shit.
point.
You know, like why is a cell phone get to have a camera that's better than an actual camera? Like you took away the whole camera industry by putting a camera in a phone. Same with like a recorder, like a video thing, voice recorder.
Yes. You're
There's
spitting, bro. It's so true, right? Like,
yeah. Like
and we're worse off for it too. Like, I'm worse off at the fact that any fucking moment of the day, I can whip this bitch out, and I could go on fucking like Twitter and rot my brain. Like, I'm probably worse off for that shit.
Yep.
Like, I think we're all worse off for that shit.
Music, all that shit. Like take it back to like make me have two things. Like make me have a phone and then either like a CD player or like another iPod or some shit like that. Like don't let me have music on my like the phone is for calling. That's it. Point
And texting. I'll give you texting too.
texting, yes. And like
Yeah.
and take a picture, but it's gotta be some blurry shit. Don't like if you want to take a clear picture, you need to have like back in the day a camera. Like you need to have a
Bro.
camera. That's what a picture's for. And you're
Bro, I
kind of
loved VHSs.
Yeah,
Remember
like-
VHSs? Those were the shit. I had a TV. You're gonna love this. So, one of the most excited times I've ever been in my life, bro, was my sister had a TV, and I'm younger than my sister.
Mhm.
So my parents were always like, "You got to hit a certain age, and then,
yeah,
then maybe we'll get you a
remember
TV."
what age it was?
Oh, that's a good ass question.
Middle school or
It was definitely middle school. I want to
Okay.
say it was maybe 7th grade.
yeah, that sounds about right.
Maybe
Yeah, that's
8th grade. It was something in there, right?
Mhm.
So they got me, I want to say it was a 14-inch TV. So like just a small sort of TV,
shit. Yeah.
right? But it had, as part of the TV, connected to the TV, it had a VHS shit.
Yep.
Like it wasn't some separate shit. It came with the VHS shit.
Yep.
Bro, I could pop in a tape and just hit record and record something off of the TV. So if some wrestling shit came on that I wanted to watch again, record that shit. You know, if there was something else I wanted to watch, record that shit and then come back and watch it later.
Yep.
And I remember sitting there and I played video games on that TV. And it was small, but it was right at the end of my bed, like where my feet were. It's like my feet and then the TV are right above it, just in my dresser, which was right there by my bed.
Yep.
And I remember just sitting there like, this is it. Like, this is the pinnacle of
Perfect. Yeah.
anything. Like, this shit is perfect.
Yep.
And then the VHS went away, DVDs came out. I remember thinking with the DVDs, I was like, why is this better? Just because you don't have to rewind it? Like, just because you press to go to a chapter or some shit? Like,
Well, do you
and
remember?
it was worse because you couldn't record it off TV. You can't take a DVD and just record some shit off TV. You could burn CDs
Mhm.
in a computer if you know how to do it, but you can't just pop a DVD in and record off TV. So I remember already thinking, this wasn't an improvement. It was sort of just an adjacent move. People think, oh, I don't have to rewind a video for fucking 2.5 minutes, so it's better this way, right? But then the VHS was gone, the DVD came and went, CDs came and went, now everything's just online, and I'm not sure we're better off for that shit.
No, probably not. Do you remember? I don't know if it was Netflix that you used to have to. You would like mail in the DVD and have to send it back. And
Yes.
it was Netflix, right? Like
It was
OG
Netflix. That was OG Netflix. Yeah, you had to fucking send that shit back in.
There was Netflix, and then there would be like random. I don't think they still have these, but they would have DVD like kind of snack machine looking shits outside of like CVS's and like
Mhm.
Walgreens,
Yeah.
and maybe the Red Box or some shit like that. And you would rent the DVD from that machine, and I think you had to bring it back there, but it was just very inconvenient. But Netflix, now thinking about it, has kind of revolutionized the like DVD game.
100%.
Like, they've
100%.
been with it from like back in the day, and now they're still going strong. Shout
And
out
now-
Netflix, man. Even though they're still charging a lot, and now they like put ads
Bro.
on their shit and don't let you give out your codes anymore. Because I tried using my dad's shit, and they were like, "This ain't you, motherfucker." I was like, "Yo, but it's my dad."
I know, come on, man. But you know what's crazy? Gen Z will never know the feeling of on a Friday night going to Blockbuster.
Never.
they'll never, and I don't think people get it, bro. Like that was
That was the
for
shit.
those of you that for those of you who are watching who've had that experience, post that shit below
Yeah.
because you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
You know it's like the best day of your life. You go to Blockbuster, you pick out a movie, you
Your
bring it
shit is
home, you
there.
watch
It's
that
not
bitch.
sold out. You know, like the
Yeah,
movie you want is there.
it was so different, right? Like Blockbuster had every fucking movie, and then they'd have the candy in that bitch too, and you could pick some candy and you drive home. Like now, it is easier to just pull out, your remote and just go right to Netflix and pick some shit.
Yeah.
But like an experience is lost, bro. Like
Yeah.
there's an experience that's lost there where half the fun was getting the movie at Blockbuster.
100%.
That was half the fun.
Yeah.
So now half the fun is gone, and you can just lay in your underwear and pick the shit, which I get it. Like, that, that's dope as fuck, too, in its own way. But they will never know that feeling again. Isn't there, like, one Blockbuster video still left in the world, and it's in, like,
Yeah.
Alaska?
I think
Isn't
you're
there
right.
one? I'm going to look that bitch up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's true, bro. I'm pretty sure there's one Blockbuster video left.
Yep. I think you're right. And kind of fuck like Amazon too, because like Nyx needed a leotard for like some from performance she had tonight. And Molly just overnighted a leotard. But like back in the day, you would have to like drive around to 17 different stores to find that, And like it was obnoxious and horrible to do. But to your point, there's something that comes with like going out to all these different stores, and it's kind of like you won the lottery when you would find what you need? But now you can just always
Absolutely.
find what you need.
Absolutely.
And it
That's
also,
right.
like,
And
in the blockbuster sense, like, if you went and wanted to see some movie that was a banger that just came out and it was sold out, it would force you to pick some other shit. Like, if right next to it was, like, The Sound of Music or some shit, you'd just be like, fuck, I gotta buy this tonight because there's 17 of those shits and there's not one of these. So let me rent this and then ask them to put me on the wait list for when my shit comes back in stock. So, like, it forced people to see other movies that they wouldn't have necessarily, like, they don't necessarily see now because you could just always see something on TV. Although Molly is like, you could do this. There's like a book app where you can rent books from like a local library, and she says that like sometimes the book will be sold out, even though it's like digitally. I'm like, that shit makes no sense at all. She was like, yeah, but like they don't want everybody reading that book, so like only a certain amount of people can take it out. I'm like, that makes no sense at all. So,
that makes no sense. That's
right?
fucking crazy.
Like there's only so many copies that the library gets digitally, which doesn't make sense. But but I don't know if that forces people to like go find another book to read online?
Yeah. No, yeah. By the way, I looked it up. There is one Blockbuster left, and it's in Bend, Oregon.
Oh, it's in yeah, that sounds about right. Oregon has all weird shit. Like they probably
I don't know
have
why.
like
I thought it was Alaska. I don't know
I
why
thought it
I
was
thought it was
Alaska
Alaska.
too. I feel like
Yeah.
that one might have closed because I feel like there was one in Alaska. I feel like 60 Minutes or someone did a special on it. But Ben,
Yeah, that's right. I think that's where I remember it from. There was some special that was on it. Hey, by the way, could you still see me? Because I accidentally clicked some shit and fucked up my
yeah, I could see you.
Riverside. Okay, all right, just checking. Because I accidentally like somehow got rid of you and me. But anyway, it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
yeah, no, I could still see you. You're
Okay, all right, we're good. As long
Bend,
as I didn't fuck up the recording.
Bend, Oregon, I think is I think Oregon State is in Bend. Oregon State
Well,
University.
that shit, I
Or
really hope that place goes on forever. I hope that Blockbuster outlives America as a country
it probably
because
will.
that's amazing that there's one left and
Yeah.
they're still doing their thing, bro. Like respect to that. Like it must be in an area where they don't have any internet at all.
Well, that's
and
what I
they're
was gonna
just
say,
like
'cause it's like if you go there and they don't have the movie and then you go home and you're like, fuck, it's right here on Netflix. Like you can just click that. Like it's almost like
there's got to
Amish
be some
stores.
reason.
Like
There's got to be no internet or something.
like there's Amish towns like kind of close to where I live. You don't think at some point on like a Friday night or something they're just like, fuck, let me just take the whip to McDonald's real quick and get some food or something like that. Like,
Bro, there's still places in this country that have zero internet, so like
yeah,
they're
like
living
that's what I don't get is like at some point they have to be stuck where they're like either ask a person like, yo, can I use your cell phone, or they break the rules a little bit. It's just impossible because it's like it's just like you can't be riding a horse next to a mobile station and then like not stop in there at some point to buy some shit or use some electronic shit when it's all surrounded by you.
So do the Amish not even allow that? They don't allow you to go to like the store? Do you
I
have
don't
to
know.
do everything yourself or no?
I mean, I tried to go camping once, and there was like a Walmart 15 minutes away, and like every time we needed something, we just drove to the Walmart. Like it was like if it's there, you're gonna find it. You know, like they have to be
Yeah.
using like the resources they have around them.
Yeah, like yes, I agree that like technology has gone too far, it feels like, but at the same time I would never want to live in a situation where I don't have even the basic shit. Like trying to live without air conditioning or heat, trying to live without hot water, trying to live without just being able to go to the store and get some shit. Like that's I forget the word. Is that Luddite? Is Luddite the word? That they're like a Luddite that just I don't know if that's the word, but I think it is.
Sounds all
That
right.
they like reject every modern thing. And that just sounds horrible to me, especially if you're used to having that shit. Like if you try to get rid of it, oh my god.
Or if
Can
you
you
see
imagine?
other people with it, like there's kids I see in like the Amish community that look my age. Like they got to see me on my phone, like on Instagram, like what is that? Is that like a shorty with like? Like, let me see that photo. Like, mom, why don't I have this thing that I can see that? Like,
Bro, imagine what it was like before like widespread porn existed. Like to go from not having access to porn to like having all the access in the world at your fingertips.
that,
That could fucking straight up ruin some people and make them straight up porn addicts.
oh,
You know what
100%.
I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why the phone should have put a stop on like you can only have like 2 gigabytes of like internet speed at your hand. Like having everything at your disposal
Yeah,
is kind of
it's not
crazy.
good. The first time I ever saw porn was literally like the classic scenario of a friend of mine had it hidden in the woods underneath a rock, and we had to go to the spot and he had to take it out and we had to see it, and it had like rained on that shit, so it was like falling apart, but he was opening it up and you'd be like, "Oh my god, a titty."
Did he place the magazine there?
Yeah. I actually know the name. I don't want to dox this
Oh
motherfucker
yeah,
on
no,
air,
no,
but I
no,
can
don't put
say
his
it
name
off
on it.
air. But yeah, he somehow got his hands on a magazine and then he hid it like in the trees underneath a rock and wanted to show like all of his friends, and we went there and he like showed us and we were like, "Bro, that's crazy,
It's
bro." That's what
dedication.
he used to be like. Back in the day, that's what it used to be like.
That's
But these
dedication.
days, oh my god, could you imagine how young? Like that shit is sort of crazy that they could a kid could be young and then stumble across that shit and
Well,
be like,
yeah.
"What the fuck is this?" Jesus. You saw that shit Kanye said on Twitter, which was like he said like he sucked off his cousin until his cousin was 14 years old, and they would like reenact the shit that they found in their mom's porn magazine or something. Like what the fuck, bro?
Like he's he's just like the most like the worst thing you can say or think of is like what he's saying. And the fact Jed actually just texted us that he saw your segment on
I
his
just saw that, yeah,
um
on Kanye's new song.
yeah, his new song. And I saw he was on you were on Pierce Morgan's show. He had Kanye was on his show and then he just like walked off his set because he said like Pierce didn't know numbers or how to count, and then Pierce's boy was Kanye's boy was sitting next to him and was just like, Pierce, man, thanks for having us on. I appreciate you, or something like that. I mean, like,
Oh my
how is
god.
anyone even friends with him at that point? You know, like if you started
They're
going
all
nuts saying crazy stuff, I would text him and be like, yo, kind of wildin'.
I know, because that's the thing. He doesn't have any real friends. These are all just people who care about money and care about fame and care about like, being a hanger on to him and taking his money, and that. I mean, that's what it is. The fact of the matter is, everybody that tried to help Kanye, Kanye now thinks is evil.
Yeah.
Kanye now thinks is a demon. He brings up this story about this Jewish doctor tried to put me on pills, bro. They trying to control my mind. And it's like, you fucking idiot. This is a guy who is trying to save your life because you're acting totally fucking unhinged because you're bipolar and a paranoid schizophrenic and you're alienating everybody around you and you're so insane that you can't even see your kids.
Yeah.
Like, that dude was trying to help you, and now you've painted him as the victim. Like, he was, like he's the villain.
Yeah.
And you're the victim. That's crazy. Like, no, this dude was trying to save your life and you hate him for it. Just like I'm sure Kim Kardashian a million times told him, like, hey, bro, you gotta chill. This is fucking crazy. And he wouldn't listen, and it's like, oh, Kim's the enemy. It's like, no, she was trying to help you.
Yep.
Anybody who's saying shit to you to try to keep you in line is trying to help you. The people who are hanging out around you, egging you on as you fucking hail Hitler and sing about being a cuck, like, these are not friends of yours, bro.
Although I think Diddy reached out to him and he like showed
I
the
remember this.
screenshots and basically was just like, "Nah, you're crazy, bro. Like, I'm not listening."
And now he flipped on that. Did you? So yeah, he called him a fucking fed
Oh,
and
now he's on
said
Diddy's
like,
side because
now
probably
he's on Diddy's side
yeah.
because
See, that's
he's a
one.
fucking paranoid schizophrenic and he melts down and he just says shit. And so now he's saying Diddy's innocent.
Yeah, yeah. That's to my point is like he's just gonna take the side of whatever everybody doesn't expect, like or like defend someone who just take a horrible take on whatever the
Yeah,
hell's going on.
contrarian. He wants attention.
Yep.
He's a contrarian and he's mentally ill and he'll just say the most obnoxious shit possible. And this is part of his mania, being bipolar, is that he feels euphoric all the time and he feels like I can say what I want, I can do what I want. I'm basically God. One of the songs on his album is called like Jesus, Yay, and Hitler or something like that. And it's like he thinks like, bro, I'm a world historic figure and I'm changing the world. And it's like, no, you're literally just mentally ill. You're not special. You've lost your fucking mind.
Oh.
Like, you need to be. I said this on my show. I was like, bro, it's at the point where I don't believe anymore that, like, oh, in like the libertarian idea that if somebody's acting crazy, it's like, yeah, it is what it is. They're just being crazy, like, whatever. Like, nah, in a society that cares about people, like, at a certain point, he would be involuntarily locked up and he would have to take his medicine.
Yeah.
And they would get his life back on track and they'd release him and he'd have another chance at life.
Yeah, when you're
But the
acting
way we work
erratic.
now, it's just like, oh, go ahead, like just be crazy. Like,
Until
who's that helping?
Where it's like be crazy until you do something like horrible, and then people are like, "Oh, well, we should have stopped him before he went crazy and did something horrible."
Exactly. Would anybody be surprised? Number one, if he ends up dead within 2 years, would anybody be surprised by that?
No.
Or number two, if he did something horrible to somebody else, which gets him locked up
People are
behind
like, "What
bars?
were the signs?"
It's like every fucking sign was there. When you're hailing Hitler, like, that's sort of a sign that you're not right in the head. And by the way, I love the fact that now, like, the number one spokesman for Nazism is a fucking mentally ill rapper and a gay Mexican named Nick Fuentes. Like, the fact that it just shows you that in order to be a Nazi, you have to be totally, like, mentally ill at this point. Like, the ideology has been so discredited that, like, the most prominent Nazi is a guy who's schizophrenic and doesn't take his medicine, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's bizarre and it's sad. I wanted to ask you because I saw this. Like, is Janine Pirro's position anything of importance? Because she's from Westchester, where we're from, and is she like
Yeah.
head of something now?
So Trump wants her for DC attorney. So yeah, that would be legit. That would be a real position. It's crazy. 23 different Fox News hosts have been in his administration between the first and the second one.
And
23, bro.
And so she'd be the district attorney for
DC.
wow.
For DC.
And she's like,
Yeah, no, that's a real
lunatic.
position. Total lunatic. Absolute fucking lunatic.
So she's got to get
Neither-
voted in.
I think she would have to get approved by Congress.
Oh,
but
she
what
can
happened was the guy before, and I think his name is Ed Martin. He was so insane that there was one Republican who wouldn't let it get through committee, which means they couldn't have a full vote on it.
Mhm.
He was like, I'm not for this guy. And so that's why that guy was blocked. But is that guy going to have the balls to do the same thing with another person? I don't know. I kind of doubt it. You know what I'm saying? Because like with Trump, it's like, okay, you kill this one and then the next one will be just as crazy. You kill this one and the next one will be just as crazy.
Yeah,
At some
it's-
point, they're just going to throw in the white flag and be like, white towel and be like, all right.
Yeah, we should
Whatever.
be careful for who we reject because the next person he's just gonna make even crazier. This is another hot take. He might appoint Kanye to be some shit.
You know, it's funny you say that because the thing I've been saying is there's a non-zero chance that he pardons Diddy.
Yeah,
Like he was friends with Diddy, like legit friends with Diddy.
that's yeah. I mean, well, how long? It's probably gonna be a long like trial, right?
It's going to be a long trial, but you could pardon him at any point, you know?
Yeah, that's one that I know I mentioned that a while ago. It's a one that like I feel like if he did do that, he might take some flack. That's kind of like, yo, you're wilding on this one. Like I don't
Yeah,
think there's
but,
anyone that would
bro,
be like, that's a good move.
He doesn't care. That's the thing. Like, okay, Roy Cohn was this mafia lawyer.
Yeah,
And what he taught Trump is never apologize, never say you're wrong, always double down, and always go on the offense. And I hate to say it, but that strategy works so well with human psychology. Something about humans,
yeah,
if you're persistent enough, people just go, he's got to have some point.
Yeah.
Like, he keeps saying the shit.
when he
And
kept
that's
saying
it,
the
so he
plane
doesn't
thing, I
care.
kind of was like, I would take the plane too. Like, don't be stupid.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, he has
Love
a
to.
way of saying shit where it makes people second guess themselves.
Yeah.
Like, wait, am I wrong on this? Like, he has a way of doing it, and he learned that from a fucking mafia lawyer, and he's lived by that his whole fucking life. And yeah, we're at the point now. In his first term, he would pardon people that, like, he had a pay-to-play pardoning scheme where, I don't know if you know this, but he pardoned a bunch of rappers. Like, he pardoned Kodak Black, he pardoned Lil Wayne, he pardoned, like, a bunch of rappers.
Oh, really? I didn't
And
know.
and come to find out, there's like an agent that he was friendly with, or somebody in his orbit was friendly with, and that agent represented all these rappers. And so what they realized is, oh shit, if you just pay Trump X amount of money under the table, he'll fucking pardon you. And so Trump pardoned all these fucking people that everybody's like, why would you pardon this person? And it's because there was some sort of a deal. Now with Diddy, he's friends with him, and I guarantee you,
They're trying.
Diddy will get a back channel and be like, I'll give you fucking whatever. I'll give you $10 million if you fucking let me out. And so there's a chance he does it.
Yeah, that would be a bold one. That would be
That would be a bold one. But you know, if anybody's going to do it, he would do it. By the way, I have big breaking news that I want to share with you.
that the way you said that sounds good, but
Oh, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
Knicks
It's really
won?
good. Knicks are up 12
oh, what?
with 2 minutes left. That's the good part. The part that I genuinely feel bad for the guy is this. Tatum is injured may have a blown Achilles.
Wow. I mean, like, you never
Right?
want to wish injury upon someone.
No. I don't do that shit. I don't want him to be injured. I just
Yeah.
want the refs to ref fairly.
Yeah.
But the Knicks are up 12 now with 2 minutes left.
Wait, so
Bro, it happened again. We need to do a podcast every single Knicks game, bro. From now until we die,
yeah, don't put the
every time
game
there's
on, because it'll be like you'll put it on and it'll be like a 15-0 run, and it'll be like the
Exactly
first time in NBA history that a team has come back down 12 with 2 minutes left. And then, like, even under that, it'd be like, Kyle, please put the fucking game on.
Nah, you're so right. I swear to God, I am literally becoming superstitious about this. Like, I'm superstitious. I don't think I could ever watch a Knicks game again, bro. I ruined them.
That's
I
how
really,
I felt
like-
too. I wore my Patrick Ewing jersey to game 2, and then I wore a Jeremy Lin jersey to game 3, and Molly was like, I told her, I was like, they lost because I switched jerseys. She was like, yeah, that was the reason they lost, because you switched the jerseys. And I was like,
But
okay,
low-key,
it might have been.
Like, you might be right, though. Like, there's something in the atmosphere. There's something in the universe that something falls out of alignment when I start watching. Because it's literally every time, bro. When I turn it on and I pay attention, it's a wrap. Now, I could have it on in the background and, like, pay attention to something else and look up every now and then. That's fine.
Yeah, but
when I'm
watching it.
Locked in watching the shit, bro, I blow it for them. So the Knicks need to pay me to not watch their games, is what I'm saying.
Damn, up 12. Wait, so Tatum might have a ruptured or torn something.
Crystal sent to me, this is 4 minutes ago. Knicks up 12 with 2 minutes left. Tatum is injured, may have blown his Achilles. That's what she said.
Wow.
That's gotta, because Tatum's not old.
No,
Right?
no. He's super young and super in shape, and he's not even the one. If anything, it should have, but it could have been Jaylen Brown, who's like coming off an injury. Tatum, that's
and
bad.
think about it. Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, Kyrie.
He was an Achilles, right?
Yeah.
And then wasn't Lillard Achilles too?
Yeah.
So we got Kyrie Irving, legend. Lillard, legend. Achilles. Tatum now, Achilles. That's crazy, bro. Is it just me, or are there more injuries now than there used to be?
I feel like there are more, but here's the thing, and people give Tom Thibodeau a lot of criticism for playing his guys so many minutes.
Yeah,
but like,
true, they do.
If you don't play all of those minutes, when you get to the playoffs, you're going to be playing all those minutes at a different level too. So like, if you're not doing that during the regular season, you're not going to be ready for the playoffs at that level. So like, if you're resting guys or saying that, like, you know, they're playing too many minutes, when it comes playoff time like this, I mean, a lot of that stuff is freak injuries, you know, like that's the most common like basketball injury I feel is like Kobe had that, you know.
He did.
It's just, I feel like it's so common for guys to do that, and maybe it's just because they're faster and stronger and going at a different speed now, but I don't feel like ACL tears were that common back in like the 90s, 80s or whatever.
With Kobe, do you remember that season that led to him tearing his Achilles? It was literally like a Greek tragedy, bro. So I want to say the year was either 2012 or 2013. It was one of those two. And the Lakers got Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, and they had Kobe.
I
and
think
they
they
were
even had like
expected to
Gary Payton or Carmelo too, or something like that. That might have been earlier, but
like be the best team in the league,
yep,
and it wasn't even close.
yep,
So what happened was basically right away Steve Nash gets injured and like just goes from being great to washed like immediately.
yeah.
Dwight Howard, same thing, ended up getting injured.
And he was just
And so
Kobe even called him that.
the only star on the team that was left was Kobe. And Kobe was like, fuck it, I'm putting my entire team, I'm putting you on my back, and we're going to fucking do this thing. And so that year, he played basically every minute of every game. And I think the coach was D'Antoni, and he knew that our team has no chance unless Kobe plays like every minute of every game. So he was fine with Kobe playing every minute of every game.
Yep.
And so he fucking willed them into the playoffs. I want to say they were an 8 seed. They were maybe a 7 seed. I want to say 8 though. And they had to fight. They had to win like their last however many games to even get into the playoffs. Kobe did that, got them in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the playoffs, it was like at the end of a game when he's fighting to fucking keep him in, he ends up tearing his Achilles. Then he shoots the free throws with the torn Achilles.
Crazy.
And it was like a Greek tragedy. It was like the last bursts from an absolute legend who was just hell-bent on making this shitty-ass team win the championship. And he went out like a fucking hero. It's really crazy how it played out. And then he came back. He was never the same player,
No.
but he was still Kobe. And every now and then you get the flashes of like his final game where he scored 60 points in his final game or something like that. Like the dude was just on another level, man. And honestly, I feel horrible saying this, but with Kyrie Irving, with Damian Lillard, like these are stars. Like they're
a little older.
Ballers. But that's what I was gonna say is number one, they're smaller guards. Kobe's 6'6". Kyrie's way shorter, and Lillard is way shorter. And I think that this is really going to do in Lillard and Kyrie. Like, I don't think they're going to come back the same. I really don't. Because their games are built even more on speed and quickness compared to Kobe, who was taller and he could get away with being a little slower and craftier.
Yep.
So I really feel like this season we just saw, like, the last of the greatness from Kyrie, the last of the greatness from Lillard. And it's a shame, but Lillard and Lillard and Giannis didn't really fucking gel like we thought they would. I thought the Bucks would be a real problem.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't get hurt this year, like if he's fully healthy, Dame, I feel like they have a better shot at beating Indiana. But with him being out, and I'm getting texts, so I think it's confirmed that the Knicks won. I've got a lot of LFGs with exclamation points and 3-1.
Oh, let's go. We win.
But yeah, I think those guys are so explosive that it's gonna be rough for them to come back. And I mean, like, I've never had a serious injury. I know you like got injured a little playing some shit at some point, right, when you come back.
Tennis.
Yeah, but like at some point, right when you come back, there's a little mental, right? And then it probably goes away after time a little bit.
So for me, I had a real weird injury, man. So I was playing tennis. Me and Chris have been playing a lot, like leading up to it, right? And she hits a ball that like barely gets over the net, and I'm at the back of the court. And so I go to sprint to the front to hit that shit back over. When I went to go take my first step, I swear to you, Corin, here's what it sounded like, and here's what I felt.
Oh, I don't even want to hear it. Oh.
It went, and I literally thought that somebody was behind me and hit my calf with a stick. That's what it felt like. And so I felt the pop. And then immediately I try to walk on it. Totally not possible. Oh. Could not put any weight on it. And so I'm thinking I definitely tore something. Like something is totally ruptured in there. And so get this shit. So we go to the hospital. They take like some preliminary shit and we're waiting in there. We're in the emergency room. We're waiting like 4 hours in that bitch, just sitting there. And I'm like, bro, I need what the fuck I need some shit. And then as we were sitting there, we were Googling, right? And the more we read, the more it looked like, I forget exactly what the term was, but basically it said, this is an injury that often happens in middle-aged people, which I was like, oh, fuck, it's a wrap. I'm done. Number one.
It's like,
number two,
a political YouTube channel.
But basically it was like, yeah, your shit's a little fucked up, but like just rest and it'll get better. So in other words, it wasn't really like a torn. At first I was convinced something was torn and I was going to need surgery. But then they were like, basically Googling, they were like, nah, you don't actually need surgery. It just needs to like rest. And so I spent like 3 or 4 days just in bed. And then after that, I started wearing a leg compressor and icing it all the time, and I'd walk around only with a leg compressor, and I would like kind of limp around. And I want to say it took maybe 3 weeks,
That's pretty
four
good
weeks
recovery though.
before. Yeah, but it's so crazy because mentally I'm like, I thought I didn't think Achilles, but I thought like I ripped something like the Achilles,
Mhm.
you know. And then I had to learn through waiting in the emergency room and not getting help that actually this just needs time. And as soon as we thought like I'm not going to need surgery, that's when we left, and it took a long time to heal. But that was
You
horrible, bro.
realized while
Apparently,
you were
I'm
waiting at the hospital that you didn't need surgery and you were like, let's just dip?
yeah, because we were first of all we were waiting so long, and the emergency room was so packed. There was like, if we're waiting here, we're going to be here another 10 fucking hours, you know. And then as we were
That's
googling, the
scary.
more I read, the more it seemed like whatever I have is not something that requires surgery.
Oh,
Like it literally just needs time. It literally just needs like you just need to be off the leg for a really long
that's
time.
respect. I mean, I always am like tempted because so Scotty had a dermatologist appointment. Every time I go to the doctor, every time I bring my girls to the doctor, they'll call us back to the room and we sit there for at least like if my appointment's at 10:20, we'll sit there till 11 o'clock, 11:20, waiting for the fucking doctor to come in. I'm like, at least don't even call me to the back if you're not even close to being ready. Like, I'm not gonna call my kids to the dinner table if the food's not even close to being ready. Like, I'm gonna
Oh,
call you to the shit when the food is on the table. Don't like if the doctor's not ready to come back into this room, like when the doctor leave because they usually come from like a room
totally.
before, like until that motherfucker leaves that room, then call me into the back room. But don't get my hopes up like he's gonna be coming in. So to your point, at least be on some DMV shit where it's like you're gonna be here for 10 hours. So if your shit's not that serious, then go the fuck home and come back. Or take a number and we'll call you. You know, like, but don't have someone
Yo,
sitting there just thinking it's gonna be like emergency room. I'm gonna be there quick, and then it's like you're there for dumb long.
bro, I got horror stories from sitting in that emergency room when this happened.
Yeah.
I swear to God, listen, somebody walked in, a really old man walked in with his like son with him or something. His son was probably like my age, like 35, 37, whatever the fuck he was. And the old man comes in, red face, hunched over and breathing like this.
Oh no.
And so they walk up, and the lady behind the counter gives them a form to fill out. And first of all, I'm like, what? Like, what are we talking about here? Second of all, they go and they sit him down, and the son's like frantically trying to fill out the form. And he has to say, like, hey, he can't breathe.
Yeah. Let alone
And they were
answering the
like,
questions I'm about to hit him with.
they were like, fill the form out. And so he has to say it like maybe 2 or 3 times. Finally, he's like, listen, man, he can't breathe. He needs help right now. And the lady behind the counter's like, oh, okay. And then they put him in a wheelchair and bring him back then. But like, I watched in real time a dude who couldn't breathe sit there for 10 fucking minutes as they're telling him to fill out forms. And in my head at that point, I was like, we need a whole fucking revamp of the whole shit, how we do shit as a society. Because this is fucking, first of all, we need to like quadruple the number of doctors and hospitals that we have in this country. That's point number one. Point number two is, to your point, why doesn't anybody like I'm a fucking YouTuber and I believe in efficiency with how I do my shit. I do my show the same time, all the time. I get the fucking clips out. My editor's mad fucking efficient. Lilith is mad fucking efficient. The thumbs are always ready. The titles are always ready. The shit's ready to go. It drops at about the same time every day. I'm efficient on that shit where this is my job. I'm fucking firing this bitch out.
Yep.
You're at a hospital, or to your point, your daughter's at the dermatologist, your appointment's for 10:20, it's fucking 11 o'clock, you don't see the doctor. Like, whatever happened to fucking efficiency? Like, don't tell me the shit's at this time if the shit's not at this time. What the fuck are we talking about? And I know that they're busy, I know they got a lot of shit going on, but like, you gotta, as a human being, you gotta be like good to your word. You gotta like stand on your shit. If you say 10:20, the shit means 10 fucking 20.
100%.
You know?
Yeah, and not even an apology, not even like we'll give you 20% off next time or some shit. It's just
Yeah,
they
they just
come at
do
that
it.
bitch like like tight at you. Like, no, bitch, you were dumb late. Like,
Yeah, I don't. Something happened where like we don't believe in efficiency anymore as a country. Like we don't fucking. People aren't good to their word. They don't try to get their shit taken care of. It's all like
yeah, it's
it's
weak.
just all fucking loose and horrible. I hate that shit. Because again, if I'm a YouTuber and I can be efficient, everybody should fucking be efficient. You know?
100%. Um, last thing, how was the Vanguard? I went and listened in for a little bit. They're chilling, right?
Oh, it was good. It was fun. Those guys are great. I know they're gonna get some spicy ass titles out of my shit. I
Oh
know
yeah.
they're gonna get some spicy. Yeah, because they'll ask a question about whatever jank or whatever, and then I gotta say my shit, and then the title will be like Kyle destroys Jank Uger
Yeah, they love funny
forever and
shit.
ever, and yeah, like but they're cool. They asked some great questions, had some fun on there. I saw your appearance. Your appearance was great too.
Yeah,
That was awesome
they're
watching you on there.
thanks. Yeah, they're good people.
Did you get a little bump from going on there? Did you
I
promote
mean,
Corin's world?
like, I think I get more bumps from like your love. Like, people like showed love on that, which was cool. And they're like real good with it. Like, I forgot who it was, Zach or
Gavin,
Devin,
Gavin,
Gavin,
Gavin.
Gavin. Yeah, 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 I'm bugging. Sent one of them sent me the clip like right away. So like that was dope. But they're good with like the technology shit. Um, Last thing I wanted to leave you on because I do this shit all the time. Like, how often are you doing your laundry and do you put that shit right away? Because I've got laundry at the bottom of my bed that for weeks I haven't put back.
All right, time for my embarrassing admission. You ready for this?
Yeah.
I've never done laundry.
Oh, what now?
I've never done laundry.
What about underwear or some shit, dog?
No, ready? Here's the embarrassing admission. You ready? So from when I was a kid
Uh-huh.
until I was shit, I think all the way until 25, my mom did my laundry.
Yeah, same.
Ready?
Same.
But then after my mom, Crystal does my shit.
Damn. Shout out to her, bro.
No, I know. You don't understand. I have the best wife in the world, bro.
Yeah.
Like, she's the best wife in the world.
That's
Like,
love because even Molly like will like I mean it's like I have to wash it and dry it, but she'll fold her shit and sometimes fold mine, but like it'll stay in the thing for a minute. But shout out to Crystal for doing that shit.
yeah, there's some ways where I'm like very deficient as a person, and I'm not proud of it. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, but that's
One of the
one
ways,
spot to be deficient in.
let's just say I'm lucky to have the support I've had in my life, where I have a really awesome mother who
Yeah.
loves me and is very motherly, right? And I also have just the world's best wife, where what she says is, look, I'm used to doing the kids' laundry. I'm used to doing my own laundry. It's not a big deal for you to just throw your shit in there.
That's what's
And
up.
so I've been very, very, very lucky on that front. I'm trying to think of other ways in which I suck. So like,
Do you have to take the garbage out or anything, or like do you have garbage?
yeah, I'll take the garbage out. Certain things I have no problem. I'll put the dishes away. I'll take the garbage out.
Yeah,
And what I always tell Crystal is never hesitate. Like, if you need help with something, never hesitate to ask. I'm gonna say yes 100% of the time.
that's what's up.
So like, anytime you feel like you need X, Y, or Z, just let me know.
That's what's up.
But I also tell her that, like, if you don't tell me to do X, Y, or Z, I'm probably not gonna do it. So like, don't hesitate to speak up and tell me to do some shit.
Same.
So like, but in terms of like, I'm not good at, like, I can't really cook meals for everybody, but I lived alone for a while, so I was able to make microwave shit for myself or make little things for myself. Like, that's one thing. Like, I'll always feed myself. If nobody makes some shit, I'll always
Yeah.
feed myself or whatever.
I
That's
feel like
fine.
you can make a banging grilled cheese.
Yeah, I can make a pretty good grilled cheese.
Yeah.
I can make some good eggs too. Like, the most simple shit I could do.
Yeah,
I don't
me and
really
you are
cook.
so similar in that.
Yeah, I don't really cook in general, but I can handle some shit if I gotta handle some shit.
Yep.
But yeah, probably that's my biggest deficiency is I don't do laundry. I've never really done laundry, and
That's
I'm
a-
very, very lucky for that fact.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for my wife and for my mom.
Yeah. No, what did you guys do? Did you do anything for Mother's Day?
So we gave Crystal a bunch of these presents in the morning,
Mhm.
and it was great. We got a whole bunch of stuff for her that she enjoyed.
Nice.
Kids all gave her their stuff, cards, little gifts and shit.
Yep.
We went to Crystal's mom's house, which was fun. I talked to my mom. I talked to my sister. Yeah, and it's our anniversary was just before
Right.
actually Mother's Day. So our anniversary is May 6th,
Oh, okay.
and then Mother's Day is like a week after or whatever.
Mhm.
So we actually just Crystal and I just went to dinner, which was sort of like a late anniversary thing because we couldn't on May 6th. We were busy on May 6th.
Mhm.
But yeah, we just went to dinner at a steakhouse,
Banging?
like sort of sort of an anniversary thing / Mother's Day thing. But yeah, we had a good Mother's Day. It was great.
That's what's up. Yeah, no, I just want to know about the laundry because every night it's like I got a pile at the bottom of my bed and I throw that shit on the floor. And the next day I'll put it back on my bed like I'm gonna fold it, and that shit goes back on the floor until I fucking fold it and put it back. But
Man, it's the basic life shit
I
that
know.
gets me. Like, it's the stuff that's so tedious that you have to do like all the time
yep,
that I feel like I don't have any, and this is partly because I was spoiled as fuck by my mom doing it forever.
Same. Molly was
Because
the same.
there was, yeah, I was spoiled. There's no doubt I was spoiled. But I remember one time. So this is what happened. One time when I was a kid, um, my mom, I think I had like a bunch of clothes, and I told my mom like, I'll wash it, because she asked me to give it to her or something, and I
Mhm.
was like busy, so I didn't give it to her. But I was like, I'll do it, I'll do it. And she was like, okay, no problem, you do it. And so then like a week went by, and then 2 weeks went by, and then 3 weeks went by, and there was like a giant, and like every article of clothing that I had was sitting in the corner of my room. And I remember her coming in and being like, I literally can't handle this. If you're not gonna do it, I'm doing that shit right now.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And so my experience with laundry was saying I was going to do it, procrastinating for weeks, not doing it, and
Your
then
mom just taking
my
over.
mom being like, "Fuck you, I'm doing this shit."
Shout out to her. That's a real one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not proud of my deficiencies as a human, but
Yeah,
she
but you make up for it in other spots, man.
I
Laundry's.
like to think so, you know what I'm saying? Like I like to think so. That's how I cope with it, is like acknowledging I suck at certain things and trying to be good in other ways, but
Davina was showing
it's
you love. She was saying that you filled in on breaking points. What was it, last week?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was like a Friday mini show,
Okay.
and I hopped on. I think I was the shout out to Davina, because I think that my segment was mostly paywalled on there. So she's a Breaking Points
I think,
paying
yeah, I think
subscriber.
she is a, yeah, yeah, yeah. She was saying that, yeah, Crystal told you that you got to get to like questions at one point or something. So if that's like the pay spot, she made it that far. So yeah, she fucks with breaking points.
And I think I'm going to be hosting again at some point in the future, because Sagar's out and for a little bit. So
Is he away
that's
or is he on the Diddy?
no,
Is he?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm allowed to
Oh,
disclose
okay, yeah, then
what's
don't say
going on.
it.
I'll just say it's a big deal
Oh, I think
in a
I
good
can
way.
probably put the pieces together. He's probably having a
Yeah,
baby or some shit like that.
I'll just say it's a big deal in a good way. I don't know if I'm allowed to fucking say anything.
I mean, I know you can have the whole internet speculating that like he's like
Yeah,
shit.
whatever. Well, that's hey, you listen to Kyle and Corin, you get some tea, bro. Like this is why everybody's got to listen to Kyle and Corin. You get some behind the scenes special shit. But yeah,
Um,
so I think I'm filling in. I'm filling in some Thursday. I don't know if it's this one or the next one or whatever, but some Thursday I'm gonna fill in also, where I'm gonna be in studio and shit too.
that's what's up. All right. Well, we'll go catch up on the rest of whatever's happening in the next game. I think there's probably a late game, maybe Golden State or
There
something.
is Golden State game, which I'm about to fucking watch the shit out of that, bro.
Yeah, we got to see if Steph Curry's coming back because without him, it's a wrap skis for them. Because
It's
Minnesota's been
true.
balling, bro. Julius Randle's been going off.
Julius Randle has been going off. Hey, look, when they made the trade,
Yeah.
that when the Wolves and the Knicks made the trade, I remember feeling like I was a little bit of a contrarian, because I was really sad about losing Dante DiVincenzo, number one.
Hmm.
Like, he really carried us in the playoffs last year. But I was also a little bit sad about losing Julius Randle. Now, I get, like, there are trades, like, I understand the trade from the Knicks perspective, and it obviously fucking worked out with
Yeah.
Cat.
Eh,
But I remember thinking, like, everybody was shitting on the Timberwolves, and I remember thinking, like, this is not a bad move from the Timberwolves. You get Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo? Like, those are two pieces. Like, if Randle is on, he's a fucking beast.
yep.
He's streaky as fuck, but when he's on, he's a beast. And right now, the Wolves are proving that trade they made, everybody was calling them stupid. It wasn't really that stupid. It was actually
Good.
for their monetary situation, it made sense. Like, they couldn't pay Cat what he needed to get paid,
Yep.
and so they did this.
Yep. Yep. Spot on. All right. Well, thank you. Love you guys. We'll see you next week. Deuces.
Later, y'all.